Welcome to the first choice.
It's a bit of a departure from the kind of thing you normally play. What do you call this?
Well, this piece is called Lick My Love Pump.
This is the loudest,
rock and roll,
most explosive band in heavy metal history. This is Spinal Tap.
There's such a fine line between stupid and clever.
The funniest movie ever made about rock and roll.
He choked on vomit. Well, they can't prove whose vomit it was.
The monumental classic.
There was a Stone Age monument on the stage that was in danger of being crushed by a dwarf.
The makeup of your audience seems to be young boys.
Oh, it's a sexual thing, really.
We've got, armadillos in our trousers. I mean, it's really quite frightening.
No, don't touch
I was just pointing at it.
Well, don't point. I'm sure I'd feel much worse if I weren't under such heavy sedation.
The cult phenomenon.
The numbers all go to 11.
Does that mean it's louder? Is it any louder?
Well, it's one louder, isn't it?
Why don't you just make 10 louder and make 10 be the top number and make that a little louder?
These go to 11.
This is Spinal Tap.
Hello, you beautiful bastards, and welcome to my so-called show. And remember, tonight we turn it up to 11 as we talk about This is Spinal Tap, the 1984 Mocumentary classic. And how is my guest doing, Lord Toxic, Mr. E, Stupenzo? Thanks for joining us. How are you all doing anyway?
Sick.
Yeah, and you still managed
feeling
to
good.
do it. I'm surprised you're here as well, but I thought I'd invite you just in case. But well, Toxic, how are you doing anyway?
Man, I'm feeling good. I got a Friday off, big weekend ahead of me, and my armadillo is at full mast right now, so it's amazing.
Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it, man. Mystery, how you doing, mate? First time on the show. I'm glad to have you on.
I'll squeeze in a few minutes. Just wanted to check you out and see what it's all about. Other than that,
yeah, you're good hands. If this is I don't know if this is your first time streaming. I think you mentioned you might have done it before, but
are we popping your cherry right now, Mr. E? Are we doing that?
Popping it hard.
Popping it hard. Nice.
You've seen this movie though, right?
Oh God, I saw it back in.
Okay.
Yeah, how many people actually thought this was a real band when they first saw it? I mean, me, I had already seen Michael McKean and Harry Shearer and a couple of things, obviously, because I was still a bit younger when years after this came out anyway. But who's around and actually thought, who the fuck is this band? Is this even real? And I really like that.
Believe it or not, I saw Waiting for Guffman before I saw Spinal Tap.
Oh, wow.
And then, I started diving into all the Christopher Guest movies. Spinal Tap is like the outlier, though, because it's the only one that isn't directed by Christopher Guest.
Right.
But it's
because this is Rob Reiner, right? Rob Reiner
this is the Marty DeBurgi, please.
My bad. I'm sorry. You're right. No, you're right.
But,
you're right.
But But no, this is what like when I first moved out of when I got graduated high school, moved to Austin in the early Netflix days. I was, we were getting, daily Netflix deliveries, and then we'd rip the movies on the computer, send them back that day, and get like 3 more the next day. And we were just like compiling huge catalogs of awesome movies and documentaries and concerts and all that. And yeah, Spinal Tap, all the Christopher Guest movies. At the time, I guess he had only done 2 or 3 at the 3 or so, 3 or I think Best in Show had just come out. Maybe I don't know, but yeah, good times.
I know. I mean, it's so crazy how this film just really gets the realism of it all as well. I mean, if I was maybe older and I hadn't seen this before, saw anything with Michael McKean in like Short Circuit 2, all that shit, but I would have been like, Jesus Christ, because a lot of people,
Coneheads. That's where I knew it from.
a lot of people really fucking were wondering, okay, why didn't they do a documentary on a much more well-known band? It's because that's how so real it was.
This is like the second rock mockumentary because the Ruddles did it first, which was the Monty Python. Yeah, and that one's great because there's again just like Spinal Tap, the Ruddles songs are actually pretty cool. And it just I don't know, it's so hilarious because as a touring musician, first of all, like the pratfalls of being on tour, it's so funny. There's always like stupid stories and stupid things going on every show, but also just showcasing like how how not difficult it is to write a good song and just play an instrument, like rock stars think that they're like God's gift to earth just because they can play guitar. And then you got these comedians who are doing it as a joke and they do it just as good, if not better, than most bands.
Yeah, and the thing is, their songs are really fucking good as well. I liked The Mystery of the Majesty of Rock. That's a great tune. And they play it dead serious, even though there's a ridiculousn's to it as well.
Yeah, and you got other, like especially hair metal bands and also rappers too. Like there's this sense of like they have to be being funny on purpose, Like there's like Tech Nine, I think is a comic genius because his songs are so hardcore. He can't be telling the truth. You know what I mean? He's got to be joking. And the same thing with that band. They're the new one, Steel Panther. They're like a throwback to the 80s hair metal band.
Steel Panther is so good.
Their songs are hilarious.
Steel Panther is one of my exes sent me their song, The Dick is Community Property, because she was like, this is totally you right here.
Yeah, Wheeler Walker Jr. is another example. Like, you're playing songs that are so funny, but they're so funny they go 180 to being badass, Tonight, We Want to Rock You Tonight is so funny.
Yeah. Little guy, you're only 4 feet tall and you still got your baby teeth. What the fuck, man?
Yeah. And they're all parodies of like not parodies, but they're all like inspired by real songs. Like that's obviously
this movie is so prophetic and so ahead of its time because like rewatching it for this, because this was on maximum rotation.
I caught more jokes every time.
Yeah, this was on maximum rotation at my house growing up. I saw it came out when I was 7, so it came on cable when I was like 8 or 9. And like I remember my dad's best friend Terry swore to God that they were like, no, this is a real band. This is a real band, Kelly. You don't even know. And my dad would be like, dude, it's a mockumentary. It's not real. And he's like, no, and so they were both kind of right because Terry would be like, no, they're really playing their music. I have albums of this. And there's no Google back in 1985. So, you'd have these, it's like arguments in jail, since no one can prove the other person wrong, they just keep going back and forth stupidly, especially when you're dumb people. Yeah, go ahead.
Frankenstein, like a smart person will say, oh, Frankenstein's not the monster, but a real smart person will say Frankenstein is the monster. Same thing with Spinal Tap. Oh, Spinal Tap's not a real band. That's a smart person, but the wise person will be like, no, Spinal Tap is a real band. They played a lot. They rock,
Well, the Spinal Tap kind of reminds me of the Monkees in a lot of ways. Yeah. How the Monkees weren't originally a band until they got on the show. Then they became a band.
Crazy enough, I actually watched the Monkees on Nickelodeon in the evenings when I was a kid. I'm not super proud of that, but I'm not super ashamed of it either. So, it is what it is. But yeah, man, this is one of those things that just it's so quotable. This, you know what this is? This is like when if I'm trying to introduce an American friend of mine or anyone who's not British, and I'm trying to introduce them into British dry humor, this is the movie that I'll show them first.
Which is funny because this movie's made by Americans. All the
I know.
And strangest thing is, well, it inspired Ricky Gervais as well to do The Office.
Yeah,
I mean, because it is mostly Americans humor that has inspired Ricky Gervais, not just British humor, American humor.
Right,
she is, and Curb Your Enthusiasm in a way as well. Even though Curb Your Enthusiasm was what, a year or two before The Office came out.
Yeah.
In a way.
Well, I don't know. I'm not exactly sure in the UK, but I mean, I catch your meaning. I understand what you're saying.
But not even just The Office, but like so many sitcoms now have this, take it directly from Spinal Tap with Parks and Rec,
right,
and The Office, and they're all got this like
Community
feel, mockumentary feel.
But also really because like there's so much stuff in here where it's like they're like the first band to get canceled. Like they're the first victim of cancel culture, kind of, because this is like Fran Drescher comes out and is like, this is really offensive. And then they're like, but this other band has a guy strapped to the table. Well, he's doing it to himself. He's the victim. So it's okay.
Yeah, but also they say, the other band, they don't have any leeway, like if their first album was a hit, they could probably have the ability to say, fuck you, we're putting the album cover, whatever we want. But like, they're kind of, that's the thing about this movie is so great because it's really humbling as a rock star, because it's making fun of rock stars, yet it's so accurate and also really taps into like the psychological insecurities most musicians have. They're all
the particular behaviors as well. The parts that they're always getting fussy over something like the bread has to be the same size as the meat, but if you fold it, then you got to fold the bread and it breaks apart. I can't eat this. It's
even just like this hard-headedness and refusal to admit when you're wrong, like refusal to being told no, like a lot of rock stars, this like constant need of affirmation and praise, like when you think about it, like a lot of rock stars, the most famous ones, they're very insecure, very strange people, and like Prince, you hear about Prince, how nobody could tell. Like Kevin Smith was trying to make a documentary about Prince, and that fell through because they were talking about how when he was a born again Christian or whatever, Jerusalem's a Jehovah's Witness. But something that Kevin Smith noticed is like no one ever told him no. Like he doesn't even understand what no means. It's weird.
Right. It's been made. It's like Get Shorty is to actors what this is to 80s hair bands.
Yeah,
like I remember when Get Shorty came out, and then actors were like watching that movie and going, oh my god, that thing where they order and it's not on the menu and then they don't eat any of it anyway, and like that's so Hollywood. And it's like, so this is like, I've heard band people, especially in the 80s when MTV was still viable.
Well, it's funny actors and comedians, like putting yourself out on stage, actors and comedians, that's like, not that hard. And they all look up to rock stars. They all want to be rock stars. They all want to be music stars. But technically, acting is the easiest. Being a musician is the second hardest. And the hardest would be being a comedian. That's the hardest thing to be successful at it.
Oh, yeah. No,
writing
that's no
songs
doubt.
And shit is actually, especially like radio friendly songs that the masses are going to like. Like you have to dumb it. You have to be like James Cameron. You have to dumb them down a little bit. You can't be writing really hardcore, game-changing songs. Your songs have to be basic chord structures, chorus, repeat, verse. Otherwise, you're not going to get radio play. You're not going to get. You're not going to become like top 40 if you're trying to do really out there stuff. And obviously every band has a niche and an audience and a following, and there's so many genres of music. But in the 80s, it was much more simpler time. There was much less, stuff clogging the airways, and it was so much harder to just become a musician with recording studio technology and the expensiveness of it all. And you have to go to get degrees in the stuff. But I mean, this refusal to the death of the dream, the refusal to accept that your star power is waning. Like in your head, you're still, fucking Elvis, it's just
these are about some aging rock stars that are trying to make this comeback, and it starts off well, but it just gets worse and worse as it goes along, and even their manager is kind of starting to lose his grip on his temper as well. He's obviously had to put up with these fucking prima donnas for years and years, and as soon as everything starts going wrong, it really starts to boil over him.
Yeah, it's very much it's funny because it's not even really a comeback, because like they were touring shows and they had big shows, but they were not, they're not this huge band, and then like they're coming back to America and it's like much more smaller tour. That movie, speaking of The Office, Ricky Gervais's David Brent Life on the Road. That is a very cringe.
Oh, that's so good.
Cringe rockumentary, very inspired by Spinal Tap, but it's just like nothing on the road going right, and that's the thing about going on the road is like, even when I've had so many shows where like, a bass player got fucked up because it was his birthday. He's like he can't even play. We're in Tucson, Arizona, and he's like on the microphone calling it Tempe, Arizona, and just like shit like that happens all the time. And all these fuck ups and nightmares at the time, they all become hilarious stories after the fact.
And so have you ever had a go ahead
Yeah, well, so we're going to move on to where the first time we saw this. I mean, obviously the first time I saw this was late at night. I didn't really get it. It didn't appeal to me. I think I switched over after 5 minutes, but I was hearing, oh no, you got to watch this in Spinal Tap, give it another go. So I watched it, and I was laughing my ass off. I mean, it was funny, but it wasn't like gag heavy funny. It just felt like funny in a way that was very real and very honest, and you could get these were real people who would act like that.
Yeah, I mean, I told you how I thought.
Me seeing it for the first time, and me coming by it, and I think The Simpsons was probably the first time I actually gained any knowledge of them as well. Because
yeah, they're on The Simpsons, yeah,
the Otto Show.
I mean, I told you how I first saw it, but I knew of the movie because it was on Comedy Central a lot, and it's just one of those movies that was just always there. I always knew the logo. This is Spinal Tap, it's just when I finally watched it, I was like 19, 18 in a band, and it was like the funniest shit ever. Somebody else?
Yeah. Like, shit, when you would have gone the first time I saw this was back with 86 on VHS, and instantly I knew it was it's kind of a parody on Led Zeppelin and the Beatles.
One of them, the whole bread thing was inspired by, I forgot which rock star it was, but it was the one who wanted to have all the M&Ms with all the brown ones removed.
Oh, Van Halen?
That's it, yeah, that's it.
Well, Rob Reiner, I think, read about it, but like at the time, I remember everyone was talking shit like, "Oh my God, Van Halen, they're such a bunch of divas that they demand a huge like fishbowl full of M&Ms with all the brown M&Ms removed." It's like, boo, these guys are dickheads. But yeah, Van Halen, they justify. Who's the singer? God damn it, David Lee Roth. David Lee
Roth or Sammy Hagar?
No, this is David Lee Roth days for sure. He was saying that actually the reason why they did this, and I've told the story before, but it's very well known now. But the reason why they did this is actually pretty insane, because you have these huge like 100-page writers, you have huge staged requests, stage requirements. You need pyrotechnics and fireworks and cranes and all this crazy lighting and sound, and you want to make sure everything's set. And the thing is, you're on tour, you show up to a new city, you haven't been there before, and you have to have all this shit already set up. So you have this 150-page writer with all these very, specific instructions. And that's why in the middle of page like 92 or 87, they had this one little clause, and it's like the brown M&M clause. So basically, when they would come to a new town, they would go to the fucking green room. That's the first place they'd go, and they would see if that bowl of M&Ms wasn't there. They would know something. They would go do line checks because they would know something was probably inevitably going to be fucked up on stage. So if they went back and saw the brownless M&Ms, they knew that these people read the whole rider and they followed the rules.
Weird.
So yeah, I think you've answered when you first saw it, Mr. E. So have you, Toxic?
I believe so. As best as I can. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll jump into the film then. Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Just gonna get the images up. And
what were you gonna ask me, LT?
I was gonna say, have you ever? I know you were saying you had so many problems on the road and stuff. Have you ever had a drummer die in a gardening accident that was never
because
solved?
I'm the drummer, so no, I haven't died in a gardening accident.
Like you didn't have to replace a drummer that had died mysteriously in a gardening accident.
So what's funny is I think that was based off of because Keith Moon choked on his own vomit.
Right.
A lot of drummers died.
Not on someone else's vomit because you can't.
Yeah,
you can't really.
A lot of drummers die, that's like a thing. And also the joke about the drummers dying is it just shows how like replaceable the drummer is. The fact that Spinal Tap is just a trio plus some random drummer is also funny. Like that's a joke in it itself. But yeah, like the dying in a mysterious garden accident, they think it might be a nod to Toto's drummer who died. Yeah, he died mysteriously in his garden, and people thought that he had a reaction to pesticides he was spraying out, which caused a heart attack. But I think later they found out now it was just he had heart disease from years and years of alcohol and drug abuse.
Yeah. So now we start with obviously we're starting now where we see this director called Martin DeBergi, who's like this big fan of him when he was younger. And he talks about the time when he first saw him down at the Electric Banana, and he's like, "Don't bother looking for it; it's not there anymore." And it's like the first laugh in the film. It's just the way he delivers it as well. He delivers it very quick, very precise, and just moves on.
Yeah, there's so many jokes in this movie.
It's not said in a gag sort of way, but you can tell it's the way it's delivered as well.
He's wearing a hat that says "Oral C." He's
Yeah, that's based on
the voice of reason in a way as well, because he does ask him all these like very honest questions about when the relationship starts to break later on in the movie.
Also, I love how he starts off with like, "I'm Martin DeBergi. I make commercials." It's just like,
yeah. So he's not exactly a big director, is he? But he's like, he's with this band that isn't really as big as they like to think they are. But
he's like, remember the one where the dog chases the wagon under the sink? That's mine. Just
like, he's so proud of it, isn't he?
He's always been. Rob Reiner's always
a commercial.
Rob Reiner's always been really good at doing that kind of straight man humor. Like he's the straight man in the thing, and everybody kind of plays off of him a little bit. You know what I mean? Like you said, he has the common sense. I mean, not in real life, because in real life he has.
He's a dick in real life. Yeah, butter.
But it's he does this really good, and I think you have to have that for something like when everything else is so over the top. You have to have something that kind of grounds it in reality. And a lot of these jokes, like this is I think I said this on another stream. I think maybe on one of your streams. I don't remember whose stream it was, but I said that this movie is like when someone tells you they're a movie buff. So you throw out some quotes from this to see if they are, and that'll tell you like what it is. Or if you show this to a chick and she digs it and she laughs, then you got to keep her. But if she's just sitting there staring at it blankly and she doesn't get it, then you're just like, all right, well, you're just a pump and dump.
Yeah. What if she thinks it's real? Is that?
That might be marriage material right there. Okay, actually, that might be.
What if she's like super interested in the band and she's like, "Oh, I like this band." But yeah, I mean, as far as they've been playing for 17 years, and they have this like kind of mediocre fame. They're known as England's loudest band.
Yeah,
like just what a London great as well. Not the rest of England, just London. And yeah, Digital Pollution, Drew Gordon, Nix. Yeah, thanks for joining us as well. Sorry, I didn't mention you, but you're always welcome to be on the stream.
Welcome everyone.
Welcome. See, and I love how he sort of like does this little introduction and is like, well, enough of my yakking. Let's boogie. And he kicks off. It does feel like a real documentary as well. You see these little snippets of everything being set up, and you see little bits of the band and everything, and you get these talking heads, and I think they're real people as well, aren't they? Just interview.
Are they talking about?
Just asked them what they thought about
a different better band. I think they're talking about a real band,
Yeah, they are. and they just sort of like edit it together to make it sound like they're talking about Spinal Tap, which is good because there's something very genuine about it as well. They're in their reactions. There's something organic about it.
Oh, Detroit Metal City? No, I haven't seen it. It's a movie based off an anime. Okay, check that out.
Yeah, let's have a look. Detroit Metal City. Yeah, I'll check that out, man. What's up for checking out new animes? Yeah, you got the crew working, setting up all the stage, blah blah blah, all that stuff, and yeah, then you get this guy from Spinal Tap. Yeah, so even the chauffeurs are getting the fucking name wrong.
But Pap, that's what koala bears. Yeah, they eat their mom's shit basically.
No.
This chick makes me fucking laugh as well because there was plenty of fucking bears that go to these gigs who actually do talk like that as well. They're really fucking sort of hippy dippy spiritual speak, whatever the fuck they say. But she's fucking hot though. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, if you're into mannish coke whores, sure.
I've seen worse. But and it kicks off as well with "I'm gonna rock you," and it is. It's a very.
Tonight I'm gonna rock you. Tonight is the name of the song. Please.
Tonight I'm gonna rock you. Tonight I'm gonna rock you tonight.
It's just,
and it's a great way to start the fucking documentary as well. It shows that these are actually a very good band that do some good shows, but somehow they never became bigger than they think they are.
Yeah. Also, what's funny is like this is the only time at the beginning of the movie when you see any signs of like roadies or stagehands or people transporting their gear. Because the worst, when you actually have like roadies stuff and transport, you got a semi truck that like hauls your stuff around the country, or whatever. Like that's when you got the pro status. The worst is when you're like a bunch of dudes crammed in a van or a bus or whatever, and you got to haul your own gear, set up your own shit. You got to get there like several hours early and set up your own gear. It's a nightmare. It sucks.
Yeah, the fact that you mentioned that as well as starting to hint that maybe they start to lose more roadies because the budget just keeps getting slimmer and slimmer, maybe smaller and smaller as they go on.
Well, we never see them set up their own gear, so it's implied that they do have a full stage production, which is funny because they would rather, pay for that and play smaller shows and make less money than, set up your own gear and profit more, because that's kind of the benefit of like, not having a roadie tour and bringing your own gear, save a bunch of money. It's expensive.
Yeah. And this is where we are introduced to the band members as well. David, he's kind of like the lead guitar vocalist, and he always seems to be the one that seems to have a bit more creative control, or thinks he is the leader of the band in a way. He thinks he might be the smartest one, but really he's just as dumb and insane as Michael is. That's what I got from his character, but yeah, no, obviously Nigel. Sorry, Nigel is the kind of the really simple one though as well.
Yeah, and also he's obviously just Jeff Beck. It's pretty obvious that he's
he's got the haircut, everything, and he's doing the old guitar solo thing with the violin. Except Jeff Beck used the bow, didn't he? On the
Led Zeppelin. That was Jimmy. I think it was Jimmy Page did that.
Right.
But and then the other guy, singer. Yeah, he's kind of like a Jimmy Page and a few other. They don't really explain who they're based off of, but like, also like Nigel Tufnell is like a parody of Eric Clapton, because it's like
so we stole the names and the location as well, like Clacton Pond and
yeah.
And
then Derek Smalls is obviously a Motorhead Lemmy bass player with the mutton chops,
I like the fact that he's more conservative as well. He smokes a pipe and he's very like well spoken. Like he's fire, he's ice, and I'm like lukewarm water. And he always seems to be like the quiet one as well, but like he is sort of like the more calmer one in a way. And he does kind of get a nice little sort of smart moment where everything's going wrong. Michael and Nigel are falling out, and it's like maybe we should stop being these rock stars now at 40 we're aging. Now we could probably do other projects, and he's not wrong there either.
He's like the guy who probably doesn't even really listen to a lot of metal,
Yeah, but he does it because it's like the cool thing. The chicks are into it, so he got into it because of that. And we got one of the many expendable drummers, and we don't really get to know him, except he's just a guy doing his job, and you get his character straight away at the end when he says, "If there's sex and drugs, I could do without the rock and roll. I'll be all right with that."
Yeah, Shrimpton.
And this guy's obviously been on so many fucking psychedelics. His brain is already fucking fried. But hey, he's a great keyboard player though.
Yeah, and that's like Bernie Worrell from Parliament Funkadelic. Like he's so cracked out, but it's like how does he even play? But yeah, I mean, like I love how the drummer and the keyboard player are totally just like ancillary. They don't even care. Like they're irrelevant who they are.
Yeah, no, they're just kind of there, aren't they? It's like kind of some of the members of Oasis where they just swatch. It doesn't matter if you get to know the names because they got switched out a lot by other members anyway.
I feel like Oasis, honestly, in their heyday, you guys are a little young, but Oasis in their heyday was like they were like real life Spinal Tap. Like they were so over the top and ridiculous.
I thought they were crazier than Spinal Tap because they would get into proper fucking fights with each other as well. Because the thing is, Liam's a rebel. Noel was kind of like the authority figure, and Liam sort of rebelled against that.
Yeah,
but in a way, Noel kind of works with Nobby because he did take creative control, and they were fucking bigger than Nazis. I mean, there's no denying that.
Dude, watching them on MTV Live when Liam is like throwing shit and spitting at him from the balcony while Noel's trying to sing. It was so funny, man.
Yeah. He fucking did that as well. He said he was ill and he couldn't make it on the stage. Then he shows up in the fucking audience slamming him. It's they had a very fucking crazy relationship, them two. But and on a related
because
note,
of this movie.
Because they did go to see him as well, and Noel said, "You do realize they aren't real. That's an American band." And Liam was really fucking disgusted by that fact. He was, he was pissed off.
People would start thinking. I remember, again, this is kind of pre-internet, but people was like, "Are Oasis a real band, or are they just like a Spinal Tap type thing or something?" You know what I mean? So like people thought that shit, and you watch something like this, and if you've seen those kind of shenanigans, then you're just like, Jesus, like these are obviously guys that just grew up watching Spinal Tap and just kind of just channeled them for some reason. So yeah, I mean, this is like the best of. There's so many banger lines in this. Like I've even forgot some of them. Some of them are even. Oh, did we lose Mr. E? Oh shit.
Might be signal. Hope he comes back. I'll check anyway if he comes back.
He said he was only going to be in for a minute.
Oh, okay.
Lance is here though. Lance is here.
But you gained me, so all is well.
Go to 11.
Go to 11.
These go to 11. These go to 11.
Why don't you make 10 louder and make that louder and make that the louder number?
No. These go to 11.
He has such a hard time just like wrapping his concept around.
It's like,
same thing with the sandwich bread. Like, just fold the meat and it's the same size as the bread. He's like, but they don't have to fold the bread.
You just keep folding and it just see, that's not work. What I want is this in here to go in here. So
yeah, and he's having a fucking go at the olives as well. Look, nothing. Hello, no one's there. Then it's like, who's this fella?
It's kind of like
it's a complete disaster. I'm a professional. I rise above it.
Yeah, it's like one of my bass players, real smart, really a real nice guy, but dumb as a bag of bricks.
Is that, by the way, is that background? Is that the Playboy Bunny mansion? Because it looks like it.
I wouldn't fucking doubt it. I mean,
no, I don't think Playboy Mansion has that castle look.
No, it does. It's got the castle look at the main entrance.
I can look it up if you want me to.
I mean, it may not be, but it does have that. It's got a couple of turrets on one part of the house. I mean, it could have been redesigned since then because this is 1984, of course. But
sure.
I don't know if you. I've got so many stories about this film. I know.
We figured you did.
Yeah, well, I've got the Holy Grail cut. I've got the 9-hour cut of the movie. So
you mentioned that as well. Because there was another storyline where Michael's girl. Sorry, is it Michael or David, the blonde one? I forgot now. Fucking, I'm getting my names mixed up. But his girlfriend brings this newer fucking guy to replace Nigel, and he's doing real well, and he's making the other band members look bad. But Thankfully, it was cut out because it did look like it was just sort of like going on a tangent instead of keeping focus.
Yeah, that's in the 9 hour. That's in the 9 hour cut. That
I saw it in the deleted scenes on the DVD, and that was it.
Yeah, there's. I mean, it's basically it's the first rough cut edit of the movie, and it's 9 hours. And it was rumored to exist, so I thought, right, I'm going to find this thing if it's out there, and I found it. It's very poor quality though.
You got it on like a fucking reel to reel or something.
Yeah, how do you watch? How do you watch it?
No, it's one file, but it's a really poor quality. Like not even 720.
Oh, you got it like on the internet. Oh, that means I can find it.
I found it on the high.
Mysteries. I think Mysteries. Scroll down a little bit if I can.
But it was at the time that I got it. You know that was that time when it was a lot easier to find stuff. Like, when Google was good. When you put something into Google and you would get like pages and pages. It was in that era. So it was a different time in terms of finding shit. On the
when you Google something, you'll get like 75 million results, but you can only go past page 8, or whatever. Right. It's just like, nope, that's it. That's everything.
Thanks, Obama.
But there was there's a story that's pretty funny about this because when the film was first released, it bombed. It completely bombed. It just didn't make any money at all, and they snuck into the back of a movie theater in the States. The two guys that are on screen now, Christopher Guest and I forget the name of the other guy. And
just mentioned
Michael
McKean. Black Cat, especially hip hop remake of Spinal Tap.
I've got it. Yeah, I've got it. There are about 4 Spinal Tap rip-offs that came out in the
I've seen Fear of a Black
years.
Cat.
I mean, Fear of a Black Cat. That's like saying, that's not really. Yeah,
it's all right. It doesn't really fully commit to the idea the way Spinal Tap does. But
there's also CB 90 or whatever. That what was that one?
CB 90.
Yeah, CB4.
That was
great.
Yeah,
that was great.
That's actually pretty good. Actually,
there's one with jam bands too, starring Les Claypool. What's it called? It's called The Electric Apricot Quest for Festeroo, and it's about jam bands, and it stars Les Claypool, who ironically plays the guitar player. They got
what is it? Real quick, what is a jam band? I don't know what that means.
Hippie shit, Grateful Dead, The Fish, string cheese, hippie tie dyes and stuff.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's not the kind of band you did as well, though. I think you might have mentioned that.
Yes. Yeah. That's why it's so funny, because it's like, they got a song about like, say, are you going to Burning Man? Say, are you going to Burning Man? A lot of jamming, 20-minute jams and shit. It's hilarious.
Bad News is another one. That was from the Comic Strip Presents. There's two episodes of it.
Yeah. I already brought up the Ruddles, which was actually before this.
Ruddles. That came. Yeah, that was
to see that. I keep forgetting to watch
on YouTube. It's on YouTube. It's good.
That was way before. That was way before this, I think.
Yeah, Monty Python days.
But yeah, so the story I was telling you was they snuck into the back of a screening. Right, it was a regular screening at a mall, and they were sitting behind this group of girls who were watching the film. And the girls were just going, oh my God, these guys are so dumb. How come these guys are so dumb? And they just didn't get that it was this cinema verite fake fly on the wall thing. They thought it was an actual real documentary about a real band. Yeah. They just thought they were watching a documentary about a bunch of idiots. And even if that was true, it would still be a fucking great film because there is a movie like that, the one about the American rock band that's soft metal band that's produced like 50 albums or something, and they still keep doing little tours. They're called something like Axel, or you'd know who they are, Enzo.
Oh, Anvil.
I do also like the fact that these.
Well, there's a lot of. I was reading a lot of music documentaries, and there's so many that have these moments where like you get a little glimpse at how either stupid or narcissistic or pretentious, whatever the artists are. There's almost every music documentary has like a moment like that where you get a glimpse at like, the musicians either being an asshole or being like way into their own head or just kind of revealing they're kind of stupid, that's always funny. It's very humbling too, because it's just like athletes, they're all kind of morons as well, and actors.
I just kind of found like Michael is a bit more pretentious than Nigel because his girlfriend's sort of getting him into all this like spiritual kind of crap as well with the astrology.
Oh, that's a big thing too, where like the chick starts influencing one of the band members, and that happens every band.
Yoko Ono,
the Yoko factor.
Yoko Ono, yep.
Not even really Yoko. It's just normal stuff. Like, I mean, you'd be surprised, man.
I would not.
Yoko basically
can't let guys enjoy their time, can they? Do you always have to sort of get involved and take over?
Yeah, they don't like it when we're happy. As soon as they know they see a group of friends, they're gonna split them up.
Well, because Yoko was shitty. But like the thing is, like even when you have like a nice wife, who's like, good for the guy, like she will start influencing like lyrics and stuff, she'll start, you'll realize like you're writing fucking songs about this chick that your bass player's married to or whatever. You're like, oh God, another one. All right.
Yeah. Very Motley Crue.
Another song about Sarah. Okay, fine.
Yeah, but the song this moment does actually sell the friendship. I mean, even though there was in like a couple of different bands at a young age, they sort of did form together. But even back then, they were having trouble getting the names, like the Originals. But then there was another band called the Originals, so they had to switch it to another, and then they changed the name.
Then we changed to the New Originals.
The New Originals.
Yeah, New Originals. Yeah,
we were the 10. We were the 10 men.
They changed their name back to the Regulars. Yeah,
the Regulars, and.
Well, it is funny because you believe that could happen as well, because band names are fucking hard to think, and if you do think of one, there's always going to be another band that probably has that 1,000
Oh yeah,
times.
that's why that's why it's such a good joke to like always like, that's why I'm always doing the whole, I play bass for this, because like, there's so many band names that haven't been taken, but once they're taken, they're taken, and there are it's okay to have a band. You can like there are band names that have there's more than one band that share a name, but very rarely do they overlap in time or in location, but still, like, it's technically allowed. But it's one of those things where you got to have like once you get a trademark for it, I think it's different, But it's funny because this song right here, I think, is the best Spinal Tap song.
Which one?
I like it. Yeah, it's
Give Me Some Money. That's a song that
Give
I've
me
actually
some money.
Yeah, and it's actually, I was watching, we did the WeWatch for Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead, and this song is like in the soundtrack, like unironically, when she's like going through the money. It's and then Ed Begley Jr.
Yeah, I know. It's like, shit, he's in Better Call Saul with Michael McKean as well.
He's the hotel manager in Best in Show, and Christopher Guest, basically over time he assembled like a theatre troupe of actors, and he would try and give all of them work in every movie that he did, even if it was a small part, depending on what else they were doing at the time. So that's why you've got the guy who played the granddad from Modern Family. He plays the American who's at the Air Force Base, going, man, my hair's getting a bit long.
Hilarious.
It's my hair's getting a bit long myself here. I need to get it cut. And then of course, he's got a massive role in Best in Show. He's just amazing.
I always do Ed Begley Jr. from the Applegates movie. I grew up watching that one.
Yeah.
That one's so funny. But yeah. And this is...
I like how Nigel is very different here as well. He's very smiling. He's very chirpy. He's not like whatever. Right, he actually seems very clean cut, very sort of like presentable. Everything, and
it shows that they're actually kind of posers, because especially when they show their whole like hippie phase that they went through.
Oh
they're
yeah,
just like they're basing their look off of whatever sells. They're not like actual
they're jumping on the trends, but they're kind of jumping on a little bit too late after, aren't they? In a way.
If you in Northern, if you want to for a laugh, right? So that whole band look is emulated on the whole Mersey Beat era.
Yeah, with Jerry and the Pacemakers and the Beatles.
Right. So if you pop this up for a second, that I've just shared with you. So this is a band called the Four Pennies, which are basically one of the bands of that era. They had a #1 song called Juliet in 1964. It's exactly the same kind of sound as the song that they're playing in that clip. And I won't play the sound for your copyright, but the second guitarist, that guy, That's my dad. So that's my dad. Yeah. You can see we've got the same chin if you look. So Lionel Morton was my birth father, but I didn't know he was my dad until I was 28 because I was adopted. So when I say my dad, I he's my birth father, but my father was the father who adopted me and was there for my life, kind of thing. But yeah, so he was in.
Yeah. Sorry, Mr. E's complaining about his audio at the moment. Was you trying to speak, man, and it just wasn't coming out?
Testing. Yeah, he's got.
Try that again. It seemed like there was a drag on.
Sorry, man.
Now we can hear you. Now we can hear you. I think.
Okay.
Yeah, now we can hear you.
Yeah, I was having a little bit of internet issues there for a second. Everything was kind of.
I know. Sorry about that. Yeah, carry on, lads, as well, because it was your dad as well.
It's just. I mean, what's really weird is that he was in that band. They had about 4 they charted 4 times. I had 4 singles in the charts, a couple of albums, and then he went on to be a children's television presenter on a really well-known children's TV show called Play School, and he did another one called Play Away, which had a theme tune, PLAY, Play Away, Way, and all this. And he used to he wrote that tune for that show, and he used to sing it on the show with Brian Cant, who was the other main presenter. So what was really bizarre was that I was watching my dad as a kid on children's TV without knowing he was my father when I was growing up. And then when I met him, it was like, oh my God, you're the guy that used to present the kids show that I used to watch when I was a kid. Wow. This is kind of nuts, So it's it's like my half-step brother is Ben Fogle, who's a really famous television presenter.
What, your half-brother is Ben Fogle? Seriously?
No, half-step brother. So
half-step brother.
At the time that Lionel had the affair that produced me, he was married to an actress called Julia Foster, who was in one of my favourite musicals called Half a Sixpence with Tommy Steele. And she's in Alfie. She's in the original Alfie with Michael Caine. So she was an actress. She had 2 kids, Emily and Ben. After she broke up with Lionel, she remarried. She married a guy called Bruce Fogle. And she had 2 kids with him, Ben and Emily. So Ben Fogle is my half-step brother. There you go. You heard it here first.
Is Mr. E audible?
Yeah, I could hear him just now.
Yeah, sound off, Marine. I'm here. Go for it. Okay. There you go.
Oh, okay. We can hear. I can hear him.
Yeah, I hear him.
Yeah.
So sorry for that
segue. The friendship. This does actually establish a friendship between these two as well. So, because even though these are kind of egomaniacs in a way and they're very eccentric, they do sort of humanize them a little bit as well. You can see that they kind of are fond of each other a little bit, even though they do have this little.
You know what else I like? The fact that they're not a bunch of drug addicts and sex addicts. That's actually kind of they're kind of
there's always different girls, and at one point they've passed on a herpes coleslaw to each other. So
you do see that. That's a great like joke that there was supposed to be a huge subplot about that, but the fact that it's not mentioned out loud and just kind of shown, it just makes it funnier.
It's a small little detail, isn't it? You don't need to know the whole story of how they got it. It's like, oh yeah, that's just a typical thing for them on the road, isn't it?
But compared to some music documentaries, watch the Flaming Lips documentary where they're recording and you cut to the keyboard player doing heroin and stuff, showing him getting ready to do heroin before he starts playing. It's it's crazy, dude. You're like, wow. It's kind of a it's kind of it's dark. Whereas these guys, there's an innocence about them. They just want to be rock stars. They don't really know what that entails.
And the things, you don't really see them taking any drugs, but it's kind of hinted that there might be in a couple of times.
I think you see a couple girls snorting something briefly one time, but I don't think it's entailed, but they're not, George Clinton, always have huge spliffs in their mouths. They're not, Keith Moon, high on horse tranquilizers on stage, never too fucked up to play. Like they don't do one of those things where they get all they seem to handle whatever they're taking, whether it's alcohol or drugs or whatever. They're moderate. You have a drink or so to loosen up, but yeah, I've seen there's so many bands where like towards the end they're getting fucked up and they can't play on stage and audiences get pissed off. Like that could have been an easy route to do it. But the fact that instead it's like, oh no, they measure the stage props wrong and they get lost backstage and that kind of stuff's way funnier,
It is, yeah, because the drug stuff is kind of bleak, isn't it? Really,
is.
if it was just focused on that.
Yeah.
I think
and this is where they talk about all the first drummer dying. He died in a tragic gardening accident, and it's really mysterious.
It's bizarre gardening accident.
Bizarre gardening accident. And you never really say what it is, do you? I mean, I know.
Well, it's best to leave it unsolved.
It's best left. They said to us, best leave it. Just leave it.
Stumpy Joe choked on vomit, like so many musicians, but he choked on someone else's vomit. They don't know.
You can't exactly dust for vomit, can we?
Can't dust for vomit. That's just so good. I love all of these scenes where they're sitting in front of this house. Every time it cuts back, it's just so great. There's so much more of this on the 9-hour.
The main interview, yeah.
And it's just them improvising.
They really
everyone.
I mean, you can really tell they've really worked their asses off on getting these characters right, and they know these characters because they would end up playing them even when they weren't making movies about them.
Yeah. And in fact, that's like a stipulation, kind of like how Warren Beatty has to bring back Dick Tracy every so now and then. So he'll do like random appearance on Turner Classic Movies as Dick Tracy. They have a similar clause where like that. Yeah, so that's why they do this similar thing where like every once in a while, Christopher Guest or someone will do an interview on like National Geographic or whatever.
That makes so much. Yeah, that makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Did you know that they're the voices of the Gorgonites and Small Soldiers?
Yeah, and then also Harry Shearer, obviously big on The Simpsons, and I mean, as far as I know, there's a sequel coming apparently this year. There was another sequel that was more like the so-called sequels are technically just like because they have a bunch of fake albums for this movie, but then they made 2 real albums after.
They made
the movie,
2 real albums. Yeah,
Break Like the Wind or whatever, and I forget the name of the other one, but they turned them into little. I think the movies are more like the first sequel is just kind of like a live concert, and then the second sequel is like a big interview.
It's a soft. There was a soft kind of sequel, which wasn't really a movie, but the film that's coming this year is a proper movie. Like it's all structured like the first one.
Well, the last one basically Spinal Tap saying that last movie that it's all edited to make us look like idiots. We don't like that.
Yeah, they did that on the commentary track for the Criterion collection, which was like I think Spine number 12 or something. It was like one of the early Criterion movies, and if you have that one, it's actually worth quite a pretty penny because they're out of print.
Yeah, and we do. I think we did see an interview with Matty DeBeck like 20 years later, and he's not really been fucking doing much since, really, has he? And nothing so extravagant.
Oh, Marty
he's
DeBerge
always available for work, isn't he?
Oh God, I hope crazy Rob Reiner shows up for the new one playing.
Rob Reiner's confirmed he's
going to be all fucking insane Trump derangement.
He's directing it. He's producing it, and he is in it. Playing Marty DeBerge,
and also Lance. They got the whole cast back.
Fran Drescher's back as Bobby.
They even got June Chadwick and
dude, I didn't know that Fran Drescher brought this character back on an episode of The Nanny.
Did she?
Yeah, this character shows up on an episode of The Nanny, and the joke is she looks just like the nanny. So the nanny like disguises as her, but like she's like a rich record executive, boss.
Yeah,
boss
even
lady.
Derek is like, wait, who is this? She's like, she's with the record company. It's like they don't even know why they're fucking here as well, and this is supposed to be about promoting their record.
Bobby Fleckman, there you go.
I have to admit, I've never
money
never
talks and bullshit. Bullshit.
That's why I heard about this yesterday. I was like, oh, that's neat. But I Fran Drescher, dude, I like her. I think she's hot and she's funny. The Beautician
Yeah, I like
and
it
the
when she goes
Beast
to Narcos,
is
you don't
a
talk so
literally
much, just
hilarious
smile
movie.
and look smart. It's like what?
She's currently the head of the Actors Guild, I think, and
yeah.
It was her. It came down to her and Matthew Modine, and there was a bit of a whole spat around that. She kind of announced that she'd won before all the votes had been counted. Sounds pretty familiar. So that was there was a whole big hoo-ha around that.
And Sir Dennis Ettenhog, who I knew from The Howling, obviously, and you guys know him from
he's Steve from the Avengers. More importantly, this is when the band are like basically sort of eating the floor with their tongues in front of him. You know, kind of thanks for getting us in. And she's like, yeah, don't talk to him so much. Just nod and look happy. And then we got Billy Crystal doing his
mine was money.
And Dana Carvey.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, we've not mentioned the manager as well. I forget the manager's name, but he always comes across as a guy who's really trying to invest in football. But,
he's played by
Ian,
Tony Hendra, passed away in 2021, and I think one of the reasons that the sequel got stalled or they didn't do the sequel was to do with all the abuse allegations that. You know, a whole thing. You can read about it. It's on his Wikipedia. Which he denied.
I read that he was gonna try to off himself, like the day before, like right before shooting this movie, and then he started shooting it and had such a fun time, like it cured his depression.
He had a real bad depression. Yeah.
That I don't know about that. That's interesting. I've never heard that before.
Yeah, it's in the trivia.
It's dark.
It's kind of. I mean, it's kind of sad to read about the allegations and shit because he was a really good actor, and you didn't see him do many other things, but he played a bad guy in that Whoopi Goldberg spy comedy that came out, Jumping Jack Flash. Don't know if you guys. Yeah, he's got a small part in that. Yeah, he's kind of in the gun battle at the end, and I like that movie. I think that movie's quite charming. But yeah, Mine is Money.
He does a good job playing this like manager who's like really kind of in over his head a little bit as well. He's every gig seems to be cancelling. He's got to put up with these prima donnas as well, and he's got this cricket bat as well, so you can tell he's got these anger issues also.
It's it's a logistical nightmare setting up a tour, and that's like one of the most annoying things about it is setting it up, like calling all the venues and or emailing them or whatever, and
he's got one of the best lines in the film actually when he's like, do you think that their popularity is kind of waning somewhat? And he's like, I think their fans are just becoming more selective.
More selective.
He's trying to put a brave face on it, isn't he?
Yeah.
That was when I listened to that again today on the rewatch. I have laughed so hard I almost wrecked my car. I was just
This is the Bruno Kirby scene, isn't it? You're reading Yes, I can.
If Frank Sinatra says so.
God, what I feel like
rolling the window up is so funny.
Yeah, by the way, fucking limeys. They don't understand about Frank.
This is like blue collar.
Yeah. Blue collar. No, it's funny because
you like YouTube. I do YouTube.
Marty DeBerg is correct though, because it's like, hey man, these guys they don't know anything about Frank Sinatra. They're not into this world. And he's like, hey man, this is a fad. Like that's what he says. Ian Faith, yeah, and it's funny how you guys couldn't remember his name because that's like a recurring joke where people kill. What was it? Cause they call him Liam and stuff.
Yeah, Liam. That's the guy with the leather jacket, and
he's like Ian.
Yeah.
Oh right.
And they're talking about trying to get this album promoted as well, but it's like, well, we're not gonna saturate the market, are we? It's like, is he kind of making excuses here because he can't seem to get any copies on the shelves or anything distributed?
It's like the time that gig gets cancelled and he goes, "Oh, don't worry, it's not a big college town," and that's what it is.
Boston.
It's a college town. That's exactly what it is.
Like 4 major universities in Boston.
I mean, I would love to know what he was like as a manager when they actually did have some success, though. I mean, it's like, is he losing his grip on his job? Is he getting too old for this? Going a bit over the hill now? it's not really established if
It
if
could
he's a
also be,
recent manager or
you're not really qualified for it, but you're not gonna miss out on the opportunity, and you're gonna sell yourself up. That
I
happens
really
a lot.
feel like the manager on Flight of the Conchords stole a lot from this guy.
Totally.
For this film.
Oh yeah, I mean he is totally
Yeah,
useless. He's
Reece
more
Darby.
useless than this guy.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Flight of the Conchords guys were definitely inspired by this movie, and I'm sure
absolutely.
they would freely.
Yeah, I mean they're even bigger
admit that.
losers than the Spinal Tap one because they're getting gigs in stupid places and not even
A library.
Yeah,
they have to be quiet.
The park.
Yeah.
And you can tell Michael's getting a bit frustrated with him as well. He's like, we're not blaming you. Yeah, he is blaming him. He wants to blame him. He really does, but he's trying to not get anything out of hand.
Yeah. Now, something I didn't even realize until watching it last night, but this song, Big Bottom, all three of them are playing the bass. They all play the bass on this song, which is hilarious because Big Bottom, it's obviously a joke about
Big
Fat
Bottom
Bottom
Girls, by the way.
Fat Bottom Girls, but also Big Bottom is a reference to the bass. You want a big bottom sound. So the fact that all three of them are playing bass is something that's you think I would notice that because that's why it's such a weird song because there's no guitar. It's just three bass players, which is and one of the actual bass player has a double neck bass.
Yeah, so. Derek Smalls has got a double bass once again, compensating for something.
Yeah, four bass. Even his name Smalls is hilarious. And Shrimpton, the drummer, but three bass players is hilarious. Like just that in itself is like something that if it could be done non-ironically and be considered cool, it's the one song where they all play bass, but like when you think about it, it's like, no, that's funny.
Now, thanks for joining us as well, Tom B. Thanks for joining us too, and Happy 99. If you're new, feel free to subscribe and do subscribe to my guests once I get their names on the description. And I hope you enjoy this stream. I
did a couple of posts for you while we were live to try and increase the numbers there. This is the one song where I always used to remember all the lyrics.
It's about shagging in it. That's it.
I like to smack you with my pink torpedo.
My baby fits me like a flesh tuxedo.
About quicksand.
The looser the waistband, the quicker the quicksand. Yeah, the deeper the quicksand.
And the thing is, these lyrics can still work as well for actual songs.
They work non-ironically as well.
Yeah.
They actually performed this because they played at Donington. Yeah. They played at Donington one year, which is the heavy metal kind of equivalent, the heavy metal festival in the UK, and they played Big Bottom on stage because they are. I mean, sorry,
I saw a great video where
musicians.
Metallica met them.
So go ahead, Enzo.
No, I was saying I saw a great video where Metallica met them backstage at one of their shows, and they were like freaking out. Metallica was freaking out. It was hilarious.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, moving on. Very funny song. I still love listening to it. So yeah, Big Game is waiting inside the tights. And they are very good. And Michael McKean can fucking sing, man. He can go a little bit British, but then do that really heavy metal sort of Fox American as.
I was going to ask you guys that. How do the American guys' British accents hold up? Are they good? Are they?
You know what? Their British accents are excellent. When I first saw this, I thought they were all. I knew it was a pseudo documentary. But I thought they were all British actors. I'll be honest.
Oh, also, like we said, the British style humor, like they nail it. They nail the British humor better than a lot of British humorists. That dryness.
Yeah, the comedy comes from how they react to things and how they respond to it as well, isn't it?
Also, the lyrics on the chorus, "Big Bottom, drive me out of my mind. How could I leave this behind?"
Behind, dun dun dun. He copied Iron Maiden basically.
And I love how the lyrics are really harsh on their albums as well. This pretentious, ponderous collection of religious rock sounds and what they did Lord Great Spinal Tap and could he have rested on that day? It's like what? Even they
haven't heard that one. Haven't heard that one. This is response.
Well, the album, the actual one, the Gospel According to Spinal Tap, is a play on both the House of the Holy and, if I'm not mistaken, Physical Graffiti for Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he always tried to have that little kind of pretension, try and show arty-farty that could be as well, couldn't they?
Yeah, all the covers that they show you are all kind of slight sort of rip-offs of covers that existed at the time. Even the Shark Sandwich cover, there was a cover of a big sandwich on one album. I don't know if it was White Snake or somebody like that had a cover with a sandwich on it, and they just like, you know, Shark Sandwich.
Yeah, shit sandwich.
Shit sandwich. Yeah.
Where they print
and the
that?
baffle is like, how the fuck? Wait, they can't have printed that. That can't be a real criticism. It's
Yeah, where they print that? Where they print that? Yeah, funny.
Also, just the ego that, like, oh, that no, like, you know, taking any kind of criticism, you know, that's like they're so hard. It's so hard for them to do that.
Yeah, it's like, it's nitpicking, isn't it?
Yeah,
yeah. Once they've got another groupie there as well. It's she's this hot little brunette. It's so now we're trying to talk about the packaging materials, and I think this is where they found out that they can't do the cover as well because it's sexist. You know, because it's got them with a woman greased up on all fours, dragged by a lead, forced to sniff a glove, and she is not happy. And yeah, this is where we've got the hairpiece saws as well, and it's a little detail. You just see it, and you instantly know that what they've been fucking doing. And
you know what's funny? What's funny is I went out to the field when I was in the Army, and that's usually when people like, you know, you can only bring so much gear and stuff, and a lot of people don't think to bring their medication. So like we're out in the field for like a week or so, and we're having chow, and these like 4 soldiers are sitting at a table with me, and they all got the herpes thing is like popping off, you know, the mouth stuff. And I'm just like, I love you guys in Spinal Tap, and they just sat there blankly staring at me like they didn't get the joke. And I'm like, wow.
That's funny, man. I like it when Nigel goes, "What's wrong with being sexy? No, sexist."
Yeah, and then they found out what about that other band who had the women greasing him up, and there's like, yeah, but it's okay, and it's like, yeah, there's a fine line between stupid and clever.
But he pauses because he couldn't think of the word that he wanted to use. It's like stupid and clever.
Yeah, because these aren't very smart guys, are they? Really, they like to think
they are.
They're not. But yeah, they obviously went to fucking art college as well. They talk a little working class, even though they probably did come from a middle class areas, like the Rolling Stones as well, because they're very middle class, more than they make out to be. Signing an executive order that Spinal Tap plays at all events as I attend the UK. I agreed, President Trump. Yeah, hello, Whammy Spoons. How you doing, man? But yeah, once again, it is funny. So now they've got all this bollocks with the packaging as well, because the album's called "Smell the Glove." So what the fuck are they gonna do now with it? They can't do exactly what the cover is saying because it's sexist, blah blah, and she's definitely kind of this modern woman as well. And it's like, come on, this was all right back in your day, but this is not the 60s anymore. Moving on a little bit, yeah.
She hasn't. I'll give her one thing, man. She hasn't really aged in 40 years, man. She's just
she still looks the same. And she's smoking like fuck as well. She must have those Italian genes there.
She's probably just got some of those children kidnapped from Epstein Island, injecting her blood into
typical,
her. Yeah. I mean, she is where they got the head of SAG or whatever.
Yeah, so. And I think this is where they found out a gig is cancelled as well. Is like he actually really goes fucking old puff there. No, because they're trying to compromise for the cover outlay on this scene. Yeah, I've just remembered now. So they're not going to release the album because it's sexist. And once again, it's like, well, what's wrong with being sexy? And it's like, no, sexist.
I don't know. I'd like to see that cover.
I know. I would. But they're trying to sort of defend it as well, like saying, yeah, but it's all a joke, though. That's the joke. You know, we're making fun of it, you know.
But this is such a modern day cancel culture move, isn't it? To do this.
I know, but we do come back to this moment where we do get a nice little humanized moment between them two as well. It's like them connected to their childhood for when they started doing their first song together, and it's actually there's no ego, there's no them being dumbasses. It's just actually kind of a nice moment that does establish that these two have been good friends and they do have this connection to with each other. Yeah, and they sing that song, all the way home, all the way home, all the way home. And it's like 6 words, and it's just repeating them all over again as well. And
also just the fact that they're able to improv, like remembering an old song, it's just like,
I know it's, and it also raises the question as well, like their music is marketed mostly to boys, and I think Nigel responds as like, yeah, but the females, I mean, they see us on stage with tight trousers, and we've got armadillos in our trousers, and it frightens them. And yeah, this is where we come to the fucking bread scene, and it's just funny. It's just making a big fucking deal about these small little bread, tiny bits of bread with ham. It's and it's hilarious, and you can see Ian is really trying to keep his patience with this guy as well, and he's managing like a pro, but he wants to smack him.
It's also like,
really does.
This is probably Nigel's way of like his nerves for before the gig kind of acting up on him. And this is kind of why Ian kind of shakes him like, hey, man, get with it. Just don't make this affect your performance, Yeah,
because I don't think he's a terrible manager, but he's not really that qualified for the job. But he does seem to try. He is obviously trying to keep them in check before the stage, because it is kind of his job.
It's like herding cats.
Yeah. A hellhole, no way you stand in a hellhole. And yeah, once again, Nigel tries to show off with his guitar solo, and he tries to do that sort of like bend back, lean on the floor, and he's he can't fucking get up. He has to have his roadie try and lift him up again. It's like his legs just frozen. He can't straighten them out. It's like
locked. You got locked in place.
But I love how he's so trying. Like he finally gets up. It's like
yeah. You have these rock stars that are like all aged out now, and they're still like rocking out. That's why you have these stories of like Steve Tyler falling off stage, really hurting himself, or just you get the arthritis, and I mean, it's not. Yeah, it takes a toll on you being on the road.
This was based on something that really happened to somebody that they got. There was some kind of prop that they got stuck in on stage, and they couldn't open it.
Oh yeah,
I forget which band it was, but it was based on a true incident. This whole
that sounds
idea.
familiar.
This song is a pretty. This song's a pretty good song as well, actually.
Yeah.
Low Toxic.
I gotta
out soon, don't you?
I got I'm double booked, buddy. I'm so sorry. Thank you so much for having me on, guys.
No problem. Thanks for joining me, man. We've got Mr. here as well. We've got Enzo. We've got Lance here as well.
Yeah, you're well taken care of. You don't.
We've got enough people to fit in a king size leisure bed here. So.
Where are you going?
Sexy.
Yeah,
don't tell me.
One guy shouts "Do Stonehenge" as well, don't they? So it's obviously building up to that really fucking hilarious moment, and yeah, I can really buy more guitarists being like this as well. Just have these collections where they don't play them; they just want to have them collected as well. It's like an obsession with them.
Yeah, it's the same thing with like fucking assholes collecting, crazy cars.
Yeah, I know. It's like there's Stain. Yeah, I'm not hearing anything. Well, you would if I were playing it, because it's famous for its sustain. If you can go out and have a bite, you'll still be hearing it. Yeah, because it's like he's obsessed as well. I mean, it shows his love for music as well, and it's very dumb way. It is very touching as well, just to see this guy display his passion for something he loves.
This one's called "Lick My Love Pump."
Yeah.
I've got that T-shirt, by the way.
I know, because he seems to wear it nearly every single shot, doesn't he? And obviously, he's got this little wireless radio thing where he doesn't have to plug into an amp. He can move freely. But we do find out later that it's probably not the best thing to have on stage later on.
It's not the best thing to have on an Air Force base where there's a lot of radio.
Yeah, I know. So moving on, and he's showing him more of his guitars as well, and obviously there's one that he doesn't want anyone to touch as well. He hasn't played it or anything. He's still got the tag on it. Yeah, like, don't touch it. I wasn't going to touch it.
Don't even look at it. Don't even know that can't. No, don't even look at it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, well, can I just look at it? It's like, no, we're moving on. And we come up to the very infamous scene as well there. The numbers all go up to 11. Is like 10, 11. Well, does it
What's
mean
funny is a lot of
You want
people
to go
know.
one ladder?
Yeah.
Everyone knows what that
Nowhere.
means. Go up to 11, but a lot of people that know what that means, they haven't even seen this movie. You know.
Yeah. Well, also at the same fact that this influenced Van Halen to actually buy stuff amps with 11.
Yeah. Oh, this movie has an IMDb page. It's the only IMDb page where the rating is 7.9 out of 11.
7.9.
If you look at the IMDb page, they have 11, a possibility of 11 stars on this movie.
That's we need to get it up to 11. Okay, we should start a campaign to get.
Yeah, we
to
just
get
got to 11.
Well, just can we make 10 louder?
Yeah,
He's got to 11.
You can see you can also see the gears moving in Nigel's brain as he's
I know,
trying
he's trying to figure
to
it
wrap
out.
his head around it.
Yeah,
Like,
I just
no.
literally, yeah.
Oh yeah, and he really fucking has it out with this hotel guy as well, doesn't he? With the gigs being cancelled, and he's got to put them in this big king leisure, and they've got to fit all these fucking people on this one king bed. And
Am I going to fit 8 people in a king leisure bed? Oh, don't tempt me, sir. That's his comeback line. And then he just loses his shit with him, which just goes to show.
Yeah,
how
I tell you what's wrong
rude
is with this twisted old foot here. Yeah, it's like, I'm exactly how God made me, sir.
Yeah. This twisted old fruit. I'm just as God made me, sir.
Then we get this
joke
guy.
That guy's another regular of the company. He turns up in a few more of their films with little parts here and there if you look out for him.
Ah, man. Yeah, it's obviously this much more younger, more successful rock star who's drawing in the larger crowd now as well. And I like how the guy doesn't know who Ian is as well. And he's like, oh, Liam, is it? No, Ian.
Can't remember him.
Yeah.
I totally stole this scene for my second movie. We were doing an improvised scene at this party with all these actors, and this big famous actor turns up with his agent, who's like this guy, really protective of him and everything. And several of the other actors at the party know him. They talk to him, and then as soon as he's gone, they do the same thing. They're like, "What a wanker! What a wanker!"
Yeah,
what a wanker.
I was like, we're playing, playing some Enormo Dome or something. I don't know. It's sold out. You know, whatever.
Yeah.
We don't even know what the place is called.
Yeah, and it just goes to show how much of a loser Ian is as well. This guy is probably a manager who can really get this Duke guy these big gigs and everything, and he is actually really good at his job. But he's also he sees Ian as less than him as well. He's like, "Who the fuck are you? Why should I even breathe the same air as you, man?" But yeah, like they said, fucking Mike is like he's got this much talent. I mean, people are still booing him. People were booing him when we came on.
Yeah, they were his support act, on a previous gig or something. And then there's the whole thing. Have you seen Duke Fame's cover album? It's got him on all fours, naked.
Yeah.
And, but you see that he's the victim. So their objection was she was the victim. So yeah, that could be very now that complaint.
Yeah, we should have thought of that. Yeah, that's when he says the fine line between stupid and clever.
Such a fine line between clever and stupid.
I love this as well. I have a piece of bad news, although it may not be that bad. We're cancelled here. What do you mean it may not be that bad? Your fucking gig is cancelled. It's like, what the fuck? Due to lack of advertising funds. And yeah, you can really see this comeback, this loosely termed comeback is not going really fucking well. I mean, but that's what makes it funnier as well. I mean, shit has to go bad for our characters for the comedy to work. And this is where you get hints that Ian really does have a bit of a temper on him as well. He's got this cricket bat in as well. And I love how casual he is as well. It's almost fucking sinister. What's this? Yeah, it's kind of a totemistic thing. It comes very useful in situations, and you see all these little snippets of him just fucking losing his temper and everything and just destroying everything. This is where Mike starts ringing a Yoko Ono. Got to Memphis and
Yeah, he's the only one that has like an actual, relationship. Because a lot of times, the rocker, like the other two, all the other guys seem to just have like flings. Derek Smalls just always has random chicks that he's eventually going to disappoint with his like cucumber in his trousers or whatever. But like, yeah, he's the only one that has like an actual, significant other. And like I said, when that happens, like you realize like even if she's not a quote unquote Yoko, like she's still going to influence the music. She's going to influence the band somehow, consciously or not. It just happens. The worst though is when
I keep calling him Michael for some reason. No, Michael McKean is his real name.
His last name's Saint Hubby or something. Saint Hubbard, Saint Hubby, whatever.
Hubbins, I think. Yeah,
Hubbins. There you go. I can't remember his first name. But yeah, like the worst though. You have a girl who's like hanging out with the band. That's one thing. The worst is when the chick is in the band. When you have two bandmates that are in a relationship, that is like a nightmare because all of a sudden you have like a mother-father dynamic that are like they're running the show and the rest of the band members are like the kids. And, they have a one vote that counts as two, basically. So they usually get majority rule. It's just weird. There's something going on with Adam Gray's. Adam Gray, I don't think it's the channels. It's something that Adam Gray has on his settings. I don't know. Maybe he's got like child mode on or something, protected mode, or maybe he's been timed out one too many times. I don't know.
Shit, I don't know.
He's always in my chat like, you need to fix your chat restrictions. I'm like, I don't know what. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, no, because I had a complaint by Drew about one of my comments in the Dread stream, and apparently he replied like twice, and it kept fucking deleting. I'm like, what's going on here?
Stop typing out N-words in the chat, guys.
Yeah, this is where Michael tells him that his bed is fucking coming down now, and Nigel is not fucking happy about this. He's obviously been in this situation before, and he's like, oh, fuck, hair again. We know this is going to... Because, it's you can really tell on his face there's he's not happy as well. I mean, just by... He doesn't even... He's obviously trying to hide it, but us viewers who are very well-versed in the visual medium, by facial expressions, we know it's not good. And yet, and I think this is where they start listening to one of their old songs playing as well, and they're real excited as well. And then the radio starts saying they're now in the category of where are they now, and it's kind of hitting home for them as well that whatever popularity they did have has clearly faded with time. And obviously they're going here as well for a pick-me-up, which is probably the worst place as well to feel fucking better. But and this is where it does establish where David is kind of the guy who probably does call the shots creatively in the band as well. When Nigel starts doing the harmonics, and David's like, no, it's terrible. You can't reach that far. But it does lead to one of the best lines in it as well, where it's like, it really does lead, it does really give you some perspective, doesn't it? And it's like, too much fucking perspective.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, doing harmonies is tough.
Yeah, no, fucking singing is tough as well. I mean, people really think they can sing it until you hear them, and it's like, oh shit, man, that is fucking horrible. And this is where we come to, we found out about their little hippie phase as well, that they were trying to cash in on as well. And like you said, yeah, they're fucking posing as well. They're doing all the hippie, oh, I'm so high and with nature kind of head bobbing. And even Derek Smalls is like looking into the camera saying, we love you for some fucking reason.
Yeah, very,
it's very hippie dippy.
Yellow summer.
Yeah, very hippie.
Yeah, summer love.
But they get the look right as well, the grain of the camera as well. Yeah. When it looks like it is from the late 60s. The little motion blurs, everything, and
I love you.
Yeah, once again, they talk about their other drummer as well, who was in that band, though. fucking exploded for some strange reason as well, and they found like a little green globule. They say was spontaneous. Yeah. Yeah, it just exploded on the stage. It was like a flash of green light. So it's like, but I think I don't know if you ever saw the Roger Ebert and Roger Ebert review on it. I think he mentioned that the manager could have had a hand in killing off the drummers. I don't know if that theory is true, but I've not seen anything on it though. But to confirm that, and it could have probably been evidence to why the drummers are always dying or something like that. But I'm really stretching here. But don't know if you think the same.
I think that's just something that they just made up.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could have been.
I think
folklore.
Yeah, I think Siskel and Ebert kind of must have misheard on when they were watching it because let's not forget, these critics were watching these films for the first time and giving their points of view on the movie that they saw only once, didn't they? So they probably did mishear at the time.
Yeah, it didn't come out on video for quite a while. I don't know if you guys have seen the anniversary DVD, but they've got a great voiceover when the logo's coming up and they're all going, "Oh yeah, here it comes,
there goes the logo."
Yeah, wow, well, this looks a bit special. It's like,
yeah, that's
really good.
That's funny. That
yeah, there's a lot of good extras.
Yeah, it's the first time they've seen a fucking logo on screen as well. It's So yeah, they're rehearsing their songs, for later in the gig, and this is where his fucking girlfriend has appeared, and yeah, this is where she fucking starts to Yoko Ono everyone. I like how he does introduce her to the cameramen as well, and lets her know there's a documentary going on. And yeah, it's where we get the new album cover as well, and it's just a fucking black sheet, and that's it. It's just nothing. It's just black. It's yeah. It looks like death. It looks like mourning, and obviously he's trying to put a brave face on it as well. He's trying to be the promoter as well. He's trying to sell something that's
like I said, refusing to accept like you fucked up, or maybe trying to think that maybe it's not a good idea you have.
Yeah, it's like, how much more black could this be? And the answer is none. And this might be one of the smartest things Nigel's ever said. I don't know. That's the smartest thing he says in this movie. I don't know why.
And not on purpose. He just says enough until he finally says something that makes sense.
Yeah.
I do like to play on the Beatles' White Album.
Yeah, exactly. I know. And because I think some other bands tried to do, and I think Jay-Z did the Black Album though, didn't he? So
he did No, it was Danger Mouse who did a combination of Jay-Z and... Was it Jay-Z or was it Jay-Z?
No, Jay-Z has actually done an album called The Black Album.
Oh, so he's done a Black Album. Danger Mouse did a mix of... I forget. Oh, yeah. He did the Black Album, but Danger Mouse went ahead and threw in a mix of the White Album and the Black Album, calling it the Gray Album.
Yeah. It sounds like a very simple thing to do with albums, though, isn't it? Just call it the Ebony Rainbow album. That's it. But yeah, he is funny. He's really trying to put a brave face on it. He's like, this is our comeback. We're on the way back now. Things can only go up from here. And then it cuts to the fucking pod not opening for Derek Smalls. Everyone else is just trying to. And I don't like the fact Derek Smalls still plays as well, even though he's like hoping he can get out in time for the before the song ends. And the song is fucking good as well. Once again, these songs are brilliant. They do sound like legit songs. They don't sound like joke songs or anything.
Which is the joke. Makes the joke better.
Yeah, so they're basically playing a straight song with no jokey lyrics while this funny thing is happening in the background. And when he finally does come out, the song fucking ends and he has to jump back in the pod again.
Yeah, and he doesn't quite make it.
Yeah.
Well, it cracked me up with the roadie was out there with a blowtorch and
everything
he could do to get him out.
And it must be why they start getting less roadies as well, because they're spending all this money on this stuff that doesn't fucking work, or it keeps going wrong.
Well, it always seems like the same guy coming out, same guy in the same hat.
Yeah. Then again,
I think roadie.
Spiral Carpet said Noel Gallagher for like a good couple of years anyway. He was like on the road with them a lot before he did Oasis. So. And yeah, this is probably one of the rare interviews you get with the drummer. And he seems accepting of the whole, all the other drummers are down. And he could.
He's prepared to die.
Yeah. Hey, fucking hell, if you're going to go out doing something you love.
Hey, Stu, you're the drummer. I was going to ask Stu, you're the...
Carry on, mate. Sorry, man.
That's right. Hey, Stu, you're the drummer, right, for your band?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So you're over 32, right?
Yep.
Okay, so you're good. You're good. You don't have to worry about Bonham or what's his name from Who.
Yep.
They both went at 32.
I know.
But this when he's like playing like a really early Atari console game or something, isn't he, on the bus?
Yeah.
Yeah, it must be really meditating and psychedelic for him as well, because I don't know if he's still I don't know if it was he's recently taken some hallucinogenic drugs, or his brain's just fried from the drugs he used to take a long time ago. It's because like Enzo just said, there's no drugs that ever seem to be taken, because it doesn't really matter, does it? You can probably get an idea they are anyway.
Yep.
It's funny that the drummer is played by this guy called R.J. Parnell.
Yeah, I'll go back a couple of shots.
Yeah, he passed away in 2022, aged 70. But he basically, most of his credits are, apart from Spinal Tap, are for doing drumming in something. So I'm guessing basically he was on the 25th anniversary Sellout TV movie. That's the kind of soft sequel, the first one. Yeah. So, but yeah, he didn't really do anything else. Interestingly, is he the one that says, "As long as there's a sex and drugs, I think I can do without the rock and roll"? Yeah.
Well, he did a good job in his only role. I mean, he looks just like a typical jobbing drummer as well.
And then the keyboard guy, don't think I've seen him in much else. That's Viv Savage, isn't it? His character's called.
Yeah.
That's
I don't get the feeling he just walked on set and they thought, let's just put him in the movie anyway. I don't know what his deal is, but we'll have him in anyway.
He's still around. He mainly works on soundtracks, so he is a musician by trade. So I guess that's why we're not seeing him pop up in acting roles.
Yeah, and this is definitely kind of ripped off from John Lennon and Yoko. She's like getting him into all these like Eastern philosophy kind of crap as well, and she's basically giving him a new kind of lifestyle as well. He's kind of imposed their little weird
all a hippie new age bullshit. Drew's comment about Bruce Dickinson is actually spot on, because the original inspiration for the movie was when Christopher Guest was waiting in the lounge at an airport and Iron Maiden had lost one of their guitars.
Yeah,
and
I think I got a clip on that. Do you want me to get the clip on that, though?
Yes, if you can. And he observed, so I did some digging to find out which band that was, and the belief is that it was Iron Maiden, who were touring at the time from in the States, or were doing some gigs in the States, but I don't think it was Bruce Dickinson. Don't think he was the front man then, but he might have been. Oh no, he was the front man for Number of the Beast album, wasn't he? So that was 1983. I've got that album. But yeah, it's that whole where's your bass? I don't know, I left it at the airport. Why have you left it at the airport? I don't know, I left it there.
Yeah, I'm just getting up now.
He watched that whole conversation and he started making notes, and as soon as he got back, he started writing, and that was the whole inspiration for the movie, was him watching that exchange.
Yeah, I've just got the clip up now, so I will share it. So here we go.
Do. I think you'll be all right on the copyright on that.
I was sitting in the lobby waiting for a friend, and a British band came in, This would have been 1977, maybe. 4 or 5 of them come in. The manager comes up to the hotel. Oh, yeah, we'd like to check in, please. Right. And one guy with a kind of a vacant expression, the manager said, yeah, where's your base? What? Where's your base? I don't know. You don't know where your base is? No, I think I left it at the airport. You did what? I think I left my base at the airport. You left your base at the airport? I don't know. Should I go? You're not going back to the... You left it at the airport. Well, I don't know, do I? Do you know where my base is? I don't know where your base is. You said you left it at the airport. And this went on for 15 minutes. And I sat there and I thought, wow. Angeles, I was at a...
Oops. Yeah. It's funny how real life can just inspire fiction as well. I mean, but that's what makes fiction so good sometimes.
Dude, I've had more than once like a bass player forget his bass in another city and they have to like fucking express freight it up to him, you know?
Yeah, put it on the next flight or whatever.
Like, how do you forget your fucking guitar, idiot?
I know, it seems like the most important thing you have. It's like a soldier forgetting his gun when he heads into fucking battle.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I just assumed someone else packed it in for me. No.
I love the expressions on his girlfriend here as well, where he's talking about, oh, well, her and Nigel actually do like each other. They don't hate each other, really. It's more like
very different people. So, yeah, because she's like there at the time, isn't she? She's there at the time. She's going, yeah.
I like how she has the same haircut. Her and her husband, her fiance or whatever.
She was great in.
Had another haircut, and she's the one that said, "You need to get this haircut, love. You do."
The next thing I saw her in after this was the V TV series.
Oh right, yeah.
And she was great in that actually, because she was kind of like Jane Boulder's kind of rival, and they hated each other, and you also had Sarah Douglas, who was also another like V female commander. The three of them were just fantastic. But I think she came in the season 1 of the TV series, which was kind of a pile of poo. Sadly, wasn't as good as the mini series and the final battle.
Yeah, but she does play it well as well. I mean, you kind of do want to slap her a little bit as well, the way she just keeps butting in and getting involved in something that's best left to the actual musicians. But
well, that's a very common story, as I'm sure Enzo would tell you. You know, women getting involved in bands and shit going wrong. You know. Tension.
You know these little scenes with Nigel as well, where he's just in this room, sort of by himself with Mighty DeBeg. Is this probably the only time he probably is being a bit more genuine? He's not being a rock and roll poser, because it's something where he says about this being the saddest of all keys. I think he genuinely means it as well.
I mean, he's a talented musician, both in the context of the movie, and of course the actor is as well. So the one thing that they don't play down in the film is the fact they are actually talented. The songs are actually quite good. They didn't make them play shit songs, and I like that. I mean, the metal songs are songs you would hear on a metal album. They're very similar, you know.
Because the more believable they are, the funnier it is, and it does kind of come across like this is him actually being himself as well, because he is sharing his passion here, and he is articulating something he loves very much.
I picture you doing this at home more than being on the piano going, no. Yeah. Sorry.
But he's it's like the Aristocrats trope or whatever, you know, like, you know, you got a real pretty song with like a horrific name, you know.
That's when it starts becoming funny again as well. You just had this really nice little piece of music and you call it that. What the fuck?
Lick my love pump.
Of course, only he could turn a beautiful piece of music into some smut. I love it. And the fucking armadillo, the fucking cucumber in his trousers. It's I mean,
and I like how it's two black ladies too. You know,
yeah.
Like, oh shit.
She's kind of cute though. This one, I don't know.
Yeah.
I found her fucking hot.
Yep.
Yeah, she's pretty, man. And I love how he's just thinking, oh, it's the zipper that's doing it. Oh wait, it's my keys. Oh no, and then he obviously knows it's down in his trousers, but he's trying to delay the inevitable embarrassment that he will have to go through to get through the day.
I also love how the band starts laughing, like they know what's happening. They know what's going to happen. Like they know he does
off of him a bit, aren't they? Because he's delaying them. And I love he's got the football shirt on as well.
Also, why do you wrap it in aluminum foil? Like I did, you know, like.
Oh, this actress as well, who's scanning him. She's done tons of stuff. Yeah, she's done. She went on to bigger things. See what I did there? I do love this scene, and it's like he just pulls out. It's like a cucumber wrapped in foil, isn't it, or something?
Why foil though? Like, you know, why would you do that?
I know. I was wondering that as well. I was really wondering.
Keep it fresh. Stop it going soggy, because it's a cucumber. If you wrap cucumber in foil, it stays hard for a week.
Or can't you wrap it in like saran wrap? Is that the same thing? Or
That's not as funny, Enzo. It's not as visual.
It's in the script.
Lesson learned, I guess. Oh my god, dude! Oh my god, you're right. The scanning lady is in Vice Versa.
Yeah, she's like I said, she's been in loads of stuff.
She's Judge Reinhold's hot secretary.
Yep.
Yeah, good actress.
Gloria Gifford is her name, isn't it?
Gloria Gifford. Yeah, that's her.
Yeah, that's her. That's her. Let's have a look what else she's doing. Halloween 2, 48 Hours. Oh, she's a hooker.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yep.
Yeah, she's the hooker that Eddie Murphy sort of I think has, and like we're gonna hook up when I get out. I think it's the same girl.
Fun.
I like that he would wear it on a plane. Yeah. And I mentioned this.
Yeah, I wrote to her, by the way.
Wearing a football shirt as well everywhere you go. It's proper of your favourite team. Proper British thing.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah, well, Adam, like you said, like, you know, you gotta. It's like the prestige, you know. You're living the lie. You gotta have the cucumber in your pants all the time, you know. Like that's total commitment to the bit, you know. You would wear it on the plane.
Yeah, and once another great song, Heavy Duty Rock and Roll, and once again their little classical influences come in when they do this. Was it a Mozart guitar solo?
Yeah.
And once again, they are fucking legit. You can tell that they wanted to make these songs actually good as well. Because you got to believe this was a band that was popular at some point. Otherwise, it's not going to work. And the point is to fool people into thinking this is real.
Heavy Duty brings out the duty in my soul.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Oh
yeah, Paul Schaefer.
Yeah, Paul Schaefer. I love this guy as well. He's so funny.
Artie Flufkin. Hi. Oh, who's this camera crew? Can I play this role any more camp? I think I can. This is toxic in prison. This is his other persona.
Aye.
Yeah, so he's got this fucking signing in, all organised, and no one shows up.
He's wearing a Spinal Tap shirt, you know.
They look like a fucking commercial for pros after though.
It's probably nothing to do with him that it's a bust. It's probably all Ian's fault because he probably hasn't advertised it.
Yeah, he does. But he does take the hit as well. He actually asks them. Listen, yeah, I know. It's like, listen,
my fault.
Kick my ass, okay?
Yeah. It's very demeaning. It's demeaning.
I know. Yeah, I'm not asking you. I'm telling you, kick my ass. But even they're not keen on doing it as well. Even they're like, no, we're not going to do that. Come on, you know, we don't want to be mean. So it does kind of make them a little bit more likable as well. I mean, they could have just gone and kicked his ass as well to make themselves feel better, but no, they do the can't thing and say, no, stop that, stop, come on, stop messing about, stop being silly.
The actual soundtrack album for this movie, they did the same thing. They did the black cover, and I remember because I always used to go and look at what are the new soundtracks. And I picked up that record and I went, what the fuck is this? There's nothing on it. And there was nothing on the back of it either.
Nice.
So the only way you could tell, I think they changed that later, but when it first came out, it was literally like black, there's nothing on it at all. And the only way you could tell was, you know, when you used to do that thing, you go to the record store and you tip the cover a certain angle so the thing rolls out, the vinyl rolls out. And that was the only way you could tell what was in it. And I remember doing that to go, oh, right, it's that Spinal Tap. Ah, okay, yeah, right. It's the gag with the album. But I thought that was a stupid idea to take that bit far into the marketing. They should have at least black cover on the front, but stick a load of stills. And I think when the second release of it did do that, I think the second release had like stills and the tracks that were on it on the back, but the first lot that came out were exactly like that.
I heard the early VHS tapes had like a disclaimer that the band is not real, you know, which is lame.
I could totally believe that as well. I could totally believe some people still sort of seeing that and thinking, "Oh my god, is this real?" And yeah, we're coming to one of the other most famous scenes where they just get lost looking for the stage. I mean, they go around in circles, don't they?
Only a touring band would know about this kind of stuff, like how maze-like some of the bigger venues are. You know, you know, I've definitely played shows where it's like if you didn't have someone tell you how to get to the stage, you'd be like, yeah, you'd be lost in like a maze of fucking basements, hallways and shit, and you know, it's just weird. And I know like lots of bands, you know, they watched this movie and they weren't laughing because like they think, oh my god, this is based, how do they know about the story about me, you know, because it's like it happens to a lot of bands. It's like you're not special, Ozzy.
Come on, rock and roll.
I've always said it's like it's too real. Loads of other bands, nearly every of the big bands have like, I watched it, it's far too real. And that's the genius of it. It really does nail every one of those you know, the horror stories of being a touring band. And
yeah,
it's the fact that they're really hyping themselves up, going rock and roll, and they're lost again. And
they have to keep hyping yourself up, you know, and like the fact that you have to do it for like an hour or whatever the whole time you're walking through this corridor. I like how even the janitor says, like, go down the hall, you have to do a bit of a jog, and then you go up the stairs. It's like, oh my god, you know, it's like
relax. Then see that sign, that's the stage.
Yeah,
this guy, by the way. His real name, the janitor's real name, get this, is Wonderful Smith. Yeah, and he was a sort of bit part character actor, really beloved guy in the industry, like you know, one of those people that everybody always had nice things to say about him.
Yeah, well, his name's Wonderful. I don't think you know, that'd be terrible if your name was Wonderful and you were a piece of shit.
You're a see you next Tuesday. That would not be good.
Well, kind of what Luke was saying. You got like the cinematographer is an actual famous rock and roll documentary filmmaker, and he's just hired because he knows how to like follow the action. But he was not laughing. You know, you'd think that all the actors would have a hard time like stifling laughter, but the cinematographer like literally didn't find the movie funny because he said to, you know, Rob Reiner that like this movie is just, it's like these bands, they literally act like this. This is exactly how the bands are when you're backstage. Like this is literally, he didn't even see the humor at the time, you know, when he was filming it.
Peter Smokler was the DOP on this movie. What a name, Peter Smokler.
I've seen a few copies where they cleaned up the picture, and I really didn't like it. I liked how grainy it was. I mean, it really felt like an old school document. But
yeah, I think it
cleaned up. It didn't look like.
I have no desire to own this film on Blu-ray or anything like that. Peter Smokler is still around, and he's mainly been a cinematographer for Sports Night. That was his big sort of career thing. He did the Larry Sanders Show, 88 episodes of that. Still the Beaver. Not sure I know that show. But God, he'd be a good guest to try and get on. Have him chat about his time on this. Yeah, that'd be interesting.
There probably is a few people who probably could be a good guest, even though they only had little small roles, maybe.
I tried to get Fran Drescher on before. I tried to get Gloria Gifford. I've tried her as well. Yeah, maybe I should try Paul Schaefer. And of course, Fred Willard's gone now, sadly. But I'd love to interview Christopher Guest. I mean, he would just be an incredible guy to interview. I don't know how I'd not crack up laughing the whole time.
He is a fucking genius, man. He is a comedy genius. I need to watch more of his stuff, though. I've only seen, apart from this, I've only really seen Best in the Show.
Mighty Wind is good. And Waiting for Guffman is actually, you know what? That's funnier. The more times you watch it, the funnier Waiting for Guffman gets.
I said Waiting for Guffman. I saw before Spinal Tap.
Right,
but yeah,
you've ever,
A Mighty Wind's a great like companion piece to Spinal Tap because it's about like folk artists, folk music, and it's the same people, and it's just as funny.
I keep forgetting Christopher Guest is married to Jamie Lee Curtis as well. But if you've ever worked on a provisional or semi-amateur dramatics theatre show, Waiting for Guffman, which I've straddled that well for a long time. Waiting for Guffman is just gets all of that and the kind of people. It gets it bang on.
Hey, Lance, if you were to interview Guest, would you have to address him by his title? Lord or Baron? What is he? Baron? He's got a hereditary title, doesn't he?
He's a member of the House of Lords, isn't he? Yeah, he's a Baron. I don't think he would care about that.
Oh yeah,
so here now
drawing the blueprints for Stonehenge.
Yeah, no, she's really trying to get in there as well. Like have the band dressed up as animals, and he's shooting it down.
You'll be a yin yang, and you'll be a crab, and you'll be
that's hilarious.
A goat man, or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
What was it?
She's very critical as well to anything that isn't her idea. She's mocking the mixing on the album as well, saying, "Well, you couldn't hear the lyrics. You should have mixed it in doubly."
Doubly.
Yeah.
I think the mix was all wrong. And then she's like, when she shows the pictures tonight, is this a joke? Is this a joke? Angelica Houston, by the way, is the woman designing the Stonehenge.
Oh yeah, right.
That's Angelica Houston.
I thought that was
nuts
she looks
to believe.
That's
Angelica Houston. Yeah, one of her first acting roles.
By the way, Ice Pirates, she's in that one too. You're like, what?
Northern, if I suddenly mute myself, dude, I've got somebody staying in my Airbnb tonight, so I'm going to be sorting them out when they arrive.
Oh yeah, no problem, man. If you have to jump off, let me know. It's no problem.
Yeah. He's just told me he's got 1% left on his battery.
Ooh.
So. Oh, hang on. Maybe I should go and go. Yeah. Anyway, all right. You carry on. Sorry, man. Let me mute myself while I sort this out.
No problem, man. Yeah. She's like throwing all these star sounds with the creative choice as well. He'd be like a Libra. Yeah. Actually, I think Derek Smalls looks fucking cool there, though. I don't know.
Right, but it's like the manager is like, how much that would cost to just keep that going. It's just also it's just very derivative of Kiss, and it's just funny. His look on his face is like, come on.
Yeah, his hat's just sinking.
Oh, and of course her boyfriend gets to be the awesome lion, and the other four guys get to be like these ridiculous, crabs and yin yangs and goats and stuff.
Yeah, and once again, David's really trying to defend her as well. He's like, you got to be open-minded about it. And Derek always seems to be like he's the one who's trying to sort of like keep the peace a little bit as well, in a way. Like, we should take a very rational approach to this,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
but this is where he to get the idea to bring back Stonehenge as well, and is like, yeah, well, it looks like they did it before as well, but it took a lot of problems, and he makes the mistake of writing it in 18 inches instead of 18 feet.
Yeah, but apparently, like Spinal Tap it's a recurring joke where they have issues with the Spinal Tap, the Stonehenge props, because apparently there's like a sequel concert where they do the Stonehenge again, but this time it's too big. And they can't get the props like through the doorways.
Yeah, they're having trouble getting it through.
It's so funny.
And this is definitely Jeff Beck, I think, as well. No, it's Jimmy Page, wasn't it? It was Jimmy Page, just standing there doing the guitar solos and using the violin as well to play the guitar with. It's
yeah, because Jimmy Page used a bow, on a violin bow, but he just used the whole bow. And then I love how he's playing the other guitar with his foot, just like slapping it.
Yeah, you can't really play a tune with just your foot as well, because you got to hold your fingers on the frets as well, don't you?
Well, you can open tune the guitar to a certain key, and then that way when you slap the guitar, it makes but then that means like you can only play in like a limited range
to get the other one.
Yeah, it means you can only play that. It's like a harmonica now, where you can only play the song in one key,
Yeah, there's Angelica Houston. I thought that was her, but I didn't know.
Yeah, it is.
I wasn't really sure.
Also, they're in Austin. Yeah.
I'll be back in a little bit, Luke. All right.
Yeah, no problem, man. And he's it's fucking like, okay, so this is great. We went through actual thing coming, and it's like, this is it.
Yeah, he's like,
this is the actual piece.
And then she pulls out like the hand drawn note, and it's like one of those things where, like, as a designer, you should always like double check. Hey, I got the specs. 18 inches, right? Like once they hand you that piece of paper, you're like, okay, so 18 inches by 18 inches.
Yeah.
And they would be like, no. They'd be like, okay, you got to assume that these people are stupid, because like, yeah, dude, I got, I can't tell you how many times like these people just give me like 2 sentences of information. And it's like, as a graphic, artist, and it's just like, are you so? And then you got to spit it all back to them. Okay, so you want it like this and this and this, and they'll be like, no, that's when they'll be like, oh no, I mean, yeah, I also want this and this and this, and you're just like, see, morons.
And they do build it up as well. I mean, they actually do really do add some atmosphere as well, going in, oh, the children in Stowe.
Yeah, but it's so pretentious and weird, and like this is like making fun of like Rush, with their nerd rock, geek rock.
They do try to, I know, and it does feel like it's been this big epic progressive rock kind of thing as well. And then the payoff comes in when the Stonehenge lowers to the stage and the dwarfs are dancing, and like all the epicness, all that fucking build up, all that mystery is just thrown right out the window, just like that.
And you got to hire 2 midgets,
Yeah.
But like, even if the big set showed up, that would also be stupid, like they just have a big Stonehenge on set,
Because the stage looks a bit small as well. It doesn't look big enough for the Stonehenge thing anyway.
Yeah. But also the music, the lyrics are so like, you said, they're not funny on purpose, but they are funny. Like, we're going to a mystic land, it's just like fucking stupid.
Where the cats meow.
Yeah, and how they danced, the little children of Stonehenge beneath the haunted moon.
I like how he goes extra cockney when he says it as well. Right in Stonehenge. He doesn't say Stonehenge, it's like Stonehenge.
And then they got a fucking little what is it, like a mandolin? A mandolin solo.
And he's looking proud. He's like, what the fuck, man? You was complaining earlier, and he's like, no, I think it could do it. I think it's actually working. I wasn't open to it at first, but I think it's going well.
Yeah, and this is where the band starts breaking down. You got the manager leaving now because he's gonna, get yelled at by everybody.
Yeah, and he's had enough as well. He's been under this amount, tons of pressure to try and get these fucking gigs smoothed over, and it's just been more problems piling on after another, and he's the one who has to deal with it all, isn't he?
But also just like how pissed off Michael McKean's character is just shows like, like just taking himself way too seriously.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah,
like,
it's
oh,
not
but
nice to be part of the
I won't be
comedy.
I don't want to be a part of the comedy, and we look like fools up there. And it's like, you look like fools this whole movie, you idiots.
Yeah, because they're unaware how fucking pretentious they are. I mean, pretentious
Yeah.
people don't know they're pretentious. That's the thing.
Right. And also the fact that his girlfriend is there really eggs him on and like boosts his ego and makes him extra protective of his image, because he doesn't want to look like a dummy in front of her,
Yeah, no, because she's obviously one of these fucking people where if the boyfriend looks a dummy, she's got no respect for him. Yeah, and it's the line as well that makes it funny. The problem isn't that the band was down. The problem was there was a Stonehenge monument in danger of being crushed by a dwarf. It's such a fucking funny line. It really is.
That's a great line, man. One of the best lines in cinema history.
Well, I also love like when he's like explaining, like I sleep 2 or 3 hours a night. There's no sex or drugs for Ian.
David.
He also says, you know what I do? I find lost luggage. I locate mandolin strings in the middle of Austin, which is like, not hard. I price the rent out of local Hebrews. Like, what the fuck? And he says that, and his girlfriend's like, we'll find someone else to find lost luggage, and you can focus on the stage.
Yeah, she finds it as a good opportunity to really gain control as well. Well, you could have someone co-manage with you, and he's like, are you fucking joking? I am not co-managing with you or any other woman, especially one that looks like an Australian's nightmare. Which I thought, it's like, damn, that's harsh. But the thing is, he's kind of right here as well. I mean, she's butting in something that she doesn't really. She's trying to have some kind of creative control, even though it's got nothing to do with it. And he is right here in a way, and he is kind of the sympathetic one here because he's doing his fucking best, but he's constantly getting shit for it every time.
Right, but the thing is, like, honestly, though, if you're like one of the band's girlfriend is like offering to help, this is a great opportunity because A, all the busy work you can hand off to her, and B, she'll be around less. She'll be out like fetching coffees and shit and doing the little things that honestly should be he should have an assistant for. But instead, he's got an ego too, and also she has an ego too because he says, "Oh, I'm not going to work with her just because she's a girlfriend." And that word like really fucking sets her off, Oh, girlfriend, like kind of like, like they don't even put a label on what those two have, They're like I don't know, some kind of strange relationship they have.
Yeah, I mean, because they're all kind of fucking assholes in their own ways. They never make him detestable though. I think maybe his girlfriend is a little bit unlikable, but I don't know how they do it. It's like they're assholes, but at the same time, you still kind of have a little bit of a fondness for these characters.
Yeah.
They're kind of innocent in a lot of ways. Innocent, stupid innocent.
Naive.
Yeah, because they aren't really hating anyone, are they? They're just, they're the ones that look like idiots in the end.
Oh, and this is where we get the now she's the band manager, like by de facto. And she comes up with her charts, her itinerary that's all illustrated.
Yeah, you thought Ian was bad at his job. She's a fucking nightmare. And I love how Derek Smalls is like, so we're not doing. He kind of misses the whole fucking point of this, doesn't he? Like he's trying to contribute, but he hasn't. It's like he hasn't listened to the whole conversation.
So are we going to do Stonehenge? It's like, this is a real important question, but are we doing Stonehenge? No, we're not fucking doing Stonehenge.
I know. Fucking Dave just loses it with him. Yeah, so moving on here, they have the argument. He quits. She's the manager.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, and I love how Christopher Guest, he's just like sitting separately, like away from him, and just kind of seething.
I know, yeah,
just kind of like,
I know, that's good visual.
Not even saying anything.
Yeah, that is
like,
good
all right,
visual.
We're gonna do what she's saying. We're just gonna roll with this and watch this like explode.
Yeah, he's got that cowboy hat on as well, isn't he? He's just being all fucking.
Yeah, awesome.
I don't know why that cowboy hat makes me laugh.
Yeah, because it's like not even fitting him properly. It's obviously like a tourist hat that you got a gift shop. It's not like a real cowboy hat. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's still trying to put a brave face on it. He's still lying to fucking Marty, but I think he's lying to himself a little bit as well. But
Marty DeBerge.
Yeah. You never really get much with Marty DeBerge, but you can probably see there's a little part of him that's feeling a bit crushed as well, seeing this happen, because he's there when it's happening. And this is a band that he's had a big fondness for when he was younger.
Brothers always fight.
Yeah. And yeah, this is where they have this big fucking argument as well. He's like, he can't play his guitar. He's having a hard time concentrating. He's like, he can't play. He can't fucking play because of your fucking wife. It's like, she's not my wife. It's
yeah,
like,
well, whoever the fuck she is. Yeah. It's like, who is she?
Yeah, I know, yeah, and it fucking drives them apart. It really does. This is like, things are already gone bad. They've lost their manager. They've been humiliated. They've had gigs cancelled, and it's like all this pressure has just been built up, and it's finally blowing. And yeah, he's going all prima donna saying, I can't work like this. Once again, he never seems to be the one that really gets the burden of the shit that Nigel and David does. Either.
Well, it's typical with bass players, they're just kind of there, and yeah, now we're gonna go play at the military base. We don't have time to go to a hotel. We just gotta go straight to the venue, and then they only have 30 minutes.
They can't sleep, can they? If they can't rest the jet lag or anything, they've got to go straight there, and it just gets even more worse as well. This is like not their fucking crowd. And Fred Willard, man, rest in peace.
Yeah,
man.
That's one of the funniest parts too. And she's like, "Oh, we like to let our hair down, and my hair is getting a little shaggy too. I better not stand too close. They might think I'm in the band." I'm joking, of course. It's like, yes, you idiot.
Yeah,
but you know what? I read like like the venue, like the bass people, they're like act like the music's way too loud and they don't like it. But apparently, like military bass would love this kind of shit because they like to,
Yeah, because they like to unwind, get away from the uptight military restrictions, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that is a little bit of an inaccuracy, but it's still funny as well. It just adds more to the tragedy that this band is going through.
Holy shit! I'm just realizing when they get to the table, the craft table. Oh my god! Like the other guy in the military hat. Let's see here. I keep going a little bit farther. I don't know if you got it. No, farther. No, not back. Forward. Sorry.
Yeah, go a bit more forward then.
Yeah, it's when they go to the military craft table. I don't know if you have a picture of the guy, but he's like, let's see here. One more. Let's see. Oh, try one more. Okay, dude, that's the Wishmaster right there on the left.
Oh, shit, yeah.
He doesn't have any lines or anything. He's just sitting there.
He's fucking scary even there, man.
He's a bad guy in Toy Soldiers. That's him.
Which guy? Which guy?
This guy on the left. It's the Wishmaster right there.
The military guy. That guy there.
Yeah, there on the left.
Yeah, you're not talking about Richard Mole.
No, not Richard Mole. The last two We Watches I've done were Richard Mole movies. No, Wishmaster is what's his name? I'm looking it up right now. It's
Andrew Divoff. Is it Andrew Divoff?
Yeah, Andrew Divoff. There you go. That's him. That's him.
Andrew Divoff. Right. Okay.
That is him. Wow. Learn something new every time you watch this movie. I swear.
Yeah, do you know what? That's a good spot, man. I never realized he was in this.
I just noticed it just now. I was like, what the fuck? That's him.
Oh. I mean, it's scary even there, though. You look at him. Like he's looking for someone. He actually looks like he's hoping someone makes a wish so he could steal their fucking soul.
Yeah.
He was in.
I love how he says
Russian crew in Hunt for October.
Yeah, right. He's in a bunch of stuff. I love how he's like, okay, well, it's 1900 hour. We want the show's at 1900 hours. It's 1830 right now. He's like, okay, so what is that? Like, we give us 50 hours until the set? It's like, no, 30 minutes. Yeah, 30 minutes until the show. So I don't want to rush you, but the idea is get it over with.
Yeah, and this is where the remote
do some slow numbers so I can dance.
Yeah, and this is where the remote amplifier comes into play, and it just sort of just really starts he gets interference with his guitar, and it causes him to fucking lose his shit and just walk off the stage. Yeah, sex farm woman, I reckon hold you down.
Oh my god, that song is the worst.
Yeah,
it's huge in Japan, bro.
Yeah, and everyone's fucking holding their ears and everything. They're not enjoying themselves, and he walks off.
And then Nigel is like bragging about his wireless guitar, and it starts picking up fucking military reception. It's so funny. Yeah, air traffic control.
Yeah.
He obviously picks it because he has a bit of a spending habit as well, maybe. And rock stars like to fucking splurge out and they want to buy something that's really fancy, especially for the guitars.
But it's funny because, like, the show's obviously crappy, but then, his gear starts fucking up, and that's like the last straw. And he walks off stage and kind of looks at his girl, the new manager, that it's all her fault. It's like, no, dude, your gear is the one. You're the one with the wireless guitar.
That's one of the few times where it's not her fault. It's like,
yeah.
And this is where he's really heavily sedated as well, and it's obviously that they're broken up now, and they're going to continue without him. And Marty DeBeg seems really disheartened about it. He's like, "Well, I am too, and I would be a bit more if I weren't so sedated." Once again, the drugs is taking some drugs, but it's all done off screen. He just mentions it, and that's it.
Yeah.
And they're obviously trying to get through this gig, this tour as well. But despite how wrong things are going, and it does look like things are really
together again.
Yeah, it does look like things are really gotten even lower for the band, and you like that as well. It adds stakes as well to the relationship to these characters, and he does look a little bit, heartbroken as well. I had to say it. And she organises them for a fucking puppet show where their name is last.
Oh yeah, I told them to put the puppet show above you.
Spinal Tap first and puppet show last.
Right. And the thing is, they've got to learn to work without the other guitarist now as well. So they've got a bass and a lead guitar, and that's it, and a keyboard player and the drummer, but that's it. And Derek Smalls offers the stupidest advice here. We could always do it some kind of like jazz kind of thing, and he's like, "No, we aren't going to do that." But then they do it.
I love
his jazz
I love
odyssey.
How he plays this new jazz fusion shit, and then it's obviously shitty weird jazz improv, and he says this song's written by Derek. They always have to.
He wrote this.
Yeah. It's just terrible. It's awful. It really is. It's like, and it's like, they're at the lowest of the low now as well. So they're at the end of the tour party. And,
well, that's kind of what happens, like the stuff you actually want to play, it isn't, it's always kind of weird when the stuff you want to do isn't as successful or doesn't resonate with audiences as well, and that's kind of what's going on with Derek,
I know, but I do like how Derek actually suggests, this all this thing going wrong. Maybe we should knock it on the head now. We're aging rock stars. It's a bit sad that we're trying to make this kind of comeback. We should move on and try different endeavors now. All these things going wrong can give us a good opportunity to try the things we never got a chance to do while we were. We did have some.
Jack.
Koosh never saw this movie. God damn it.
Saucy Jack. He's a naughty one. Saucy Jack.
Yeah. Jack the Ripper musical.
Are you carrying on? I'll be back in a minute. Won't be a minute. A couple of minutes.
It's freeing up, isn't it? Like, we don't need to do this metal stuff anymore. We got all these other projects that we conceptualize that we have time to write now. It's freeing, the fact that we the band is breaking up and stuff. And what is Michael McKean saying? Like, oh, well, now I could do my acoustic stuff with a Philharmonic Orchestra. Like that's super easy to get together,
Yeah.
Like the Philharmonic would just play with anybody. It's super funny. It never showed up on TV, says Boosh. Just watch it now. Go. Yeah, there's like 100,000 jokes in this movie.
It's easy to find. Yeah, mate, you got to watch it.
Suddenly time is so elastic. He's like, yeah. Oh, he says, what does he say? He's like a Harry Shearer's like, we're lucky, people should be envying us, He's like, well, I envy us. Yeah, I envy us too. I also envy us. So stupid.
Yeah, this end of tour party is like that when he's talking, he's going, yeah, sometimes these things are so depressing, aren't they? And it is. It's like there's almost no one there, and it's just like compared to the launch party at the beginning, it's the mood is
right.
Yeah, because there was a lot of people at this party as well. Everyone looks like they were having a good time, and it's kind of. But it's like it's tragedy though, isn't it? That's what makes the comedy. You need the tragedy to make it funnier.
It's not even tragedy as much as it's just like cringe,
Yeah, I was kind of think it's a little bit the same. They say it's tragic that this guy is always in this situation where he just embarrasses himself and just makes himself out to be even more of a fool than before. So yeah, Bruce McFadden, you gotta watch it, man. It's really good. It's never
watch all the Christopher Guest movies.
Northern, I've got to duck out because I've got to sort out my guest. He's not had any food tonight, so I'm gonna be a good host and fix him up a sandwich quickly. So I will see you guys on Tuesday.
All right. Enjoy your cod liver and onion sandwiches.
I'm not having one.
Don't make me hungry now. Don't make me hungry.
Pickled herring peanut butter.
I had steak today. I'll have I'll send you a picture.
Just gonna get the trimmings.
Just to sign off on this movie, it's been said by more than one person that when they're assessing somebody for date potential, as in, is this a good date person for me? They often get assessed on have they or haven't they seen Spinal Tap, and if they get the humor, then your date's already off to a good start. I would definitely apply that logic.
This movie's up there with 2001 as far as
it is
culturally, significant films. It's up there.
Yeah, it's probably been seen by as many people as 2001, and I look forward to.
Yeah, when you talk about like the funniest movies of the 80s, I think a lot of people would say this one is up there.
Oh yeah. And I look forward to the sequel. But for now, that's it from me. I better duck out. Mr. E, great to meet you, mate.
And nice meeting you as well, sir.
Yeah, hopefully you can come on sometime. So, all right, guys. Cheers for the invite, Northern. I'll see you on Tuesday.
Hey, take care, man. Take care.
Obviously, make sure you've seen Snow White by then, of course. Obviously, I know you've got tickets. I know you got tickets for tomorrow.
Drive a hard bargain, man. You drive a hard bargain.
Fuck that. All right. See you guys. Take care.
See you later, man. Bye. Yeah, I think we're nearly at the end of this anyway. So, yeah, they're at the end of tour party and, they talk about the Saucy Jack and doing all the things they want to do. And he wants to do this album of his collection of but acoustic versions, something like that. And once again, there's no pretension here as well, even though it is probably in their own idiot way, but it's
very pretentious. The idea that you're going to just have to, get to play with the London, Philharmonic Orchestra. It's so pretentious. It's like, oh yeah, I've always wanted. Yeah, now I could do that side.
They're probably they're reaching a bit.
I want to do that side project where I play with the London Symphony Orchestra. Where they play all my songs. That'd be cool. It's like, you stupid asshole.
Yeah, so he's got a big ego, really, hasn't he? David has. He really has. But I don't like the fact that they are kind of reflecting a little bit on that. Maybe, they just need to throw in the towel now and just focus on something else, which is kind of a little bit noble, even if their ideas for what they do next is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But the acting is really good here as well. It is. So they're rehearsing again, and this is where Nigel kind of makes his return, and I think this is where he talks about Sex Farm being number 5 in Japan, and it's like, you know what, it's not fucking much, but it's something.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I was talking about how Kiss, they're huge in Japan. Like, however big they are in America, they're like 10 times bigger in Japan. And I mean, that's kind of a thing where,
kind of like Hasselhoff in Germany.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, you could be a band and you're not doing too well, And then you find out, like, fucking Australia or somewhere just loves your songs, and you're like, okay, well, I guess we're going on tour in Australia. I don't know, whatever. We'll go wherever they'll have us.
I know. Sometimes you got to take whatever victory you can, even if it's not always the best one. But I don't know. Japan seems like a really good market as well. I mean, they're like,
yeah,
it's not a small country.
Yeah,
I mean, small in size, but population-wise, about 150 million.
Yeah.
I know, and even I know this is kind of a cheat because he's mentioning this something that's happened off screen, but yeah, you kind of get it as well. It's they need to move the plot along a little bit, and obviously,
well, it's also Sex Farm, the song that's just like one of the stupider songs.
Who the guys that do Sex Farm? A Sex Farm woman.
Sex Farm woman.
I would love to see the Japanese sing that at karaoke. I would.
Oh yeah.
Now, there probably is somewhere on YouTube a fucking Japanese guy singing Sex Farm on karaoke somewhere.
Jesus, makes me want to. God, I wish I've been to Tokyo, so what I'm trying to say was that I did karaoke in Tokyo.
Yeah.
And it would have been nice if I would actually have thought about looking that up. That would have been fucking awesome.
I mean, yeah, I'm gonna start doing Spinal Tap songs at karaoke.
Yeah. Might even do a few little acoustic covers myself, even though the singing will be shit still, but hey, be a good laugh.
Oh, and we're gonna end with the same song we started off with tonight. I'm gonna rock you tonight,
Yeah, it's kind of like it's kind of like a reprise, isn't it? Sometimes. I mean, because right here, Michael is being a bit proud as well. Well, you just show up here and you're thinking you can just come back in and blah blah blah, but they're gonna get back as well. And I'll do like they do have this little nod to each other as well, where they still care about each other. They still love each other as brothers. And it is kind of a touching relationship. They're fucking pretentious idiots, but the relationship is very touching. I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, they're back reprising the song they started with, and obviously Nigel is not overstepping his boundaries. He's just watching them. He's supporting them, and I just love how.
Oh, and then the drummer explodes.
Yeah,
the drummer explodes, and now they're in Japan. He
actually signals
the new band.
But before that happens, he actually signals Nigel to come on the stage as well. He's like, "No, come on," and Nigel's like, "Oh, I can't say no to you." When he comes on and just start playing, and and it's brilliant as well. Yeah, the drummer.
You know what I thought of that might be funny? Like Lord Toxic is like simultaneously streaming on his channel right now. Does he? If you stop the stream, does his channel keep streaming? Does he have to actually stop streaming on his channel to stop streams? That'd be funny if this show ends in a minute and then like his stream just keeps going like for the next like 5 or 6 hours.
We'll see, man. We'll see. Yeah, and it's a fucking good song.
Joins the band.
Yeah, and the
you get that
again. They call this other guy on as well.
Yeah. Also, Joe Besser is a reference to the guy who replaced Curly in the Three Stooges.
Oh man, yeah. There's so much good stuff in here. It's so well written. It's so layered. I mean,
it's not even written. Yeah, it's just like so well
smartly written. Everything. Yeah, and it's kind of got this Japanese sports jersey on as well. I'm guessing, isn't it? Oh, it's Giants.
Yeah, Giants. Yeah. Well, what's funny is like the 4 main actors, they get the writing credits, but I think they were trying to get that because everyone was improving all their lines, so technically like everyone should get a writing credit. But I think the Screen Actors Guild or the Screenwriters Guild was like, no, it's just going to be the main 4, which is weird.
Yeah, and I love how he just fucking looks up at her all smug as well, holding the cricket bat. It looks like he's ready to bash her if she fucking gets out of line.
Yeah. Yep.
And they're successful in Japan. They're number 5 in Japan, and
also that is hilarious that you like it's like those rappers where they go out to stage and it's just like a bunch of fucking white kids listening to their music. It's the same thing with them. Like they're playing music to get laid, and like their audience is like primarily dudes, you know.
Yeah, and then we always get these little bits as well where, David's got these like tape cassettes where the actors are doing the are basically narrating stories written by authors who have the same last name as well. It's just crazy. He's got this whole collection of it now. Everything.
Well, that's the thing is like why people are stupid. You know, the idea that they thought this band is real. Like it says right here at the credits, directed by Rob Reiner, starring, you know, these characters, these actors. You know, and you're like, oh, okay, but people are dumb. You know, they don't understand. You know.
Yeah, this is also crazy as well. The fact that he claims this is actually like a shot of his actual rib cage printed on the shirt as well. And it's like,
Rob.
And he actually thinks it's fucking green as well. It's like, some parts of your blood is blue. And it's like, no, it's just the colour of the vein. Your blood is red, but the vein is blue.
Oh. Right.
But once again, it's good as well. It adds a little bit more to the character as well. It shows a little bit what they're up to as well after the gig. And it is kind of just like a little, like a little epilogue in a way. Yeah, and I love how he's named after the patron saint of quality footwear. It's like, we get this other little bit like you play to white audiences. You're not racist, are you? It's like, no, I'm saying I love you, brother. But yeah, message should be clear. We're anything but racist. It's not really that gaggy. Like it's just something that's a nice little character, bit of character dialogue. And it's like, this is weird as well, because he does not seem to like his older stuff as well. I don't know if he meant the Thames Men stuff or the stuff they did before that. I don't know. But I love how he thinks Sex Farm is like this very sophisticated song, you know, we're really trying to take it to new levels. It's like, it's a song about fucking shagging on the farm, mate. What are you on about?
Yeah.
And he just gets this one line. It's very simple, like, what's your philosophy in life? And that would be, have a good time all the time. It's just his face when he says it as well, but all right.
Totally. And what's it? Nigel just kind of fantasizing about working as like a clothing salesman or whatever.
Yeah, no, he's actually reacting to the scene. He's like, no, we're all out. Come again.
What size you wear?
Yeah. See, I could do that.
Yeah.
I love tuna. Yeah. Little cans you got there, tuna fish. I love that.
Nigel's guitar collection, custom, brought to you by Norman's Rare Guitars.
Yeah, I wonder if that's still there now. I've probably been shut down for a long time. Who knows?
Oh, Zildjian cymbals, obviously. Music recorded in LA studios. Yeah, like I said, the fact that this is an American movie is just like, hell yeah.
Yeah. And I like the fact that I made a joke about it earlier about him wandering on the set and they decided to just fucking put him in the movie anyway. And he's like, say, if at least with the rock and roll, I get to do. If I was doing this without rock and roll, I'd be making myself stupid in public.
Yeah.
So yeah, as long as there's sex and drugs, I can do without the rock and roll. And yeah, the bit where he's fucking freelance selling some products and and it ends.
Yep,
it's a classic. It is. It's
an hour and 23 minutes long.
Yeah, I mean, it's not too long. It's not too fucking short. It's well paced. And it's a movie that has people just talking, but you still don't feel the length, phrasing.
Yeah, I don't know if I would be happy about a 6-hour cut of this movie. We'll see.
Yeah, I know. You kind of get. I mean, you kind of get the point with the normal cut anyway, don't you? I mean, and it's just mostly them just going from one place to place, and one thing going wrong while more things get worse and worse for them. Gigs getting cancelled, everything, props going wrong. It's but that's what makes them funny. The losers. They're trying to make it in an area that's really competitive, and they kind of keep failing. That's what makes them funny, though.
Yeah, the you know, and you know, they have like moderate success, you know, they're not you know, they're able to, you know, get out of the country and go on tour and play some good shows. But yeah, this idea that you know, they're not comparing to much more famous hair metal bands.
Yeah, because it's like, all right, you didn't exactly get the bigger gigs though, but you had something, which is more than what most people ever get in life. Some people don't live their whole lives and never get the kind of success they have. Never mind a fifth of it.
Yeah.
They're more of a mediocre band with mediocre success. They're not a one-hit wonder or just some obscure band that just manages to touch on, you know, the everyday audience, so to speak.
Yeah. So, I mean, we've seen plenty of these like cult bands that never really got big when they first came out, but years later, they somehow they become more successful in like a couple of decades later. Ever heard of a singer called Rodriguez?
No, Rodriguez? No.
Yeah, he was like this acoustic singer. He did this one album in the 60s, but then he just disappeared. There's a documentary on him. I don't know if it's on Netflix though, but it's really well worth watching. And his songs are really good.
Nice.
So you said it was Rodrigo?
Yeah, Rodriguez.
Rodriguez.
Yeah, let's have a look. Rodriguez. So, singer.
You're going to get a lot of good results.
Yeah.
Yeah, his name's Sixto Rodriguez. And fucking hell, he died a couple of years back as well. But yeah, there's a really good documentary. But going back onto Spinal Tap, I mean, this is just a pure funny film. I mean, it's not, and it doesn't rely on being very bonkers or wacky or slapstick. It's just it's just normal reactions from people in these crazy situations that seem to actually ring true with people who have actually been in this industry.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. A band called Death. Yeah. Is that, yeah, I remember a band called Death. That's a real documentary though, right?
It probably is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's read some of the chats anyway, because I did not get a chance to read some of them. Got some really good people on here as well. We've got a couple of new ones here, which is always nice. So yeah, Nick's. No, we'll go for Nick. So yeah, the Slav event is being dual streamed on both NEB's and Lord of Toxic's channel. Okay. Drew Gordon. It's super high concept, kind of inspired by Kiss. A dweeby cafe musician gets bullied into being Krauser 2, the lead of a demon metal band. I might have missed a conversation. I do apologise there. Here we go. Yeah. There it is. So yeah, anyone seen the live action adaptation of Detroit Metal City? Yeah, that's my favourite rock business set musical comedy. It's hilarious and fairly sentimental too, of course. And I'll add that onto my list because I'm always looking for some new, more obscure movies that didn't get the attention they probably deserved. So yeah, Gene Simmons is actually in the live action adaptation as Jack Too Dark, the lead singer of the Fuckingham Palace, the ultimate battle of the band's opponent. Honestly, it's so funny. I'm going to have to watch it. I am going to have to watch that. How dare you call her a crack horse? She's clearly a well-adjusted young Christian lady from one of them Methodist churches. Yeah, my joke is so bad, Lord of Toxic is laughing on a different channel.
Yeesh.
Yeah. Yeah, so Digital Pollution, yeah, thanks for joining us. When I was a roadie, I had a Spinal Tap moment backstage at Brixton Academy. I was totally lost. And yeah, you mentioned that earlier, Stu Penzo, like most of these big gigs are like fucking mazes.
Oh yeah, I worked at the Irwin Center. That place is insane. Huge, you know, I mean, it'd be pretty hard to not be able to find the stage, but like the stage entrance is different, you know. It's like there's only one stage entrance in the entire venue. You could easily walk into the stage, but like, you know, walk through the main audience entrance or whatever. But yeah, then these other venues I played in, like there was one place in Colorado where like you know, oh, that's the worst though. Oh God, that's the worst when like some of these venues are like, you know, there's like multiple stairwells to get to the stage or to get to the VIP area or the loading area. Like loading gear when there's like stairs is like so awful. It sucks. It's like I don't even want to play there, you know, like if there's like, you know, steps and stuff, like no.
Yeah, fucking yeah, and it's good that you are an actual musician as well, because you get to highlight a lot of the moments that this movie gets right as well, which always helps as well. It's like having Toxic on for something like Heat, where you know, he actually knows all this stuff, all these like military methods, these army methods. Yes, I'm assuming you're sweet, but you're just 4 feet, but you still got your baby teeth. You're too young, and I'm too well young. Tonight I'm gonna rock you. Yeah, Bad News was great. I like the Metallica doc, Andrew Gordon, some kind of monster with all the tantrums, and yeah, Digital Pollution. So you know a little bit as well, and yeah, I'm sad I didn't really get you on for as a guest as well, because you would have been good to have you share some more information as well about your time as a roadie. When I was a roadie, I met a few rock stars who were real assholes. Yeah, they always kind of do come across a little bit up themselves, a little bit. Most of these rock stars. Yeah, we've done that as well. That's tweeting here.
Oh yeah,
for a minute then.
I remember Beyond the Valley of Dolls. That was a good one.
Yeah. Let's have a look here. So you could say Spinal Tap is literally saving lives.
Oh yeah,
I agree.
That guy almost, that guy could have killed himself. Ian.
Yeah, where Whoopi hooks up with Jonathan Price in the end. So Cop Shoot were 2 bassists, no guitar, 90s noise rock. I'm always keen on listening to other bands that I've not heard of as well, so it should be. And yeah, Mr. E bringing in the big numbers. Yes, thank you. Karaoke on Low Toxic, cool. I hear Gary Busey has a perfect British accent. That would be one of the bizarre fucking things ever, mate. That Gary Busey talking in a British accent. I would. I think I don't want to die without knowing what that would sound like. So yeah, Heavy Spoons, Trump Daddy. Yeah, the music's all in touring now. The music industry is totally different nowadays. I kind of don't disagree as well, especially with music kind of being uploaded free on YouTube, stuff like that as well. The pirate sites, the torrent sites, the money's all in torrent. Yeah. Where did you buy your learned violin book from, Darth? Pretty sure you're not meant to throw it in the fire. Yeah, from an earlier one. Oh yeah, Atom Great complaining about your filters in your chat for some reason. I've never noticed that. The NWO BHC where Spinal Tap was recorded was in trouble in 1984, the year of Metallica's Ride the Lightning, Slayers of Hell Awaits, and Anthrax: A Fistful of Metal, a year of hardcore changes. So yeah, Bruce Dickinson from Iron Maiden was very Spinal Tap in interviews at the time, writing his saucy comedy novels, asking interviewers if they knew William Burroughs first coined heavy metal. Yeah, totally off topic. Anyone's I'll see the end scene of The Electric State and think how cool a Judge Dredd Robot Wars film could be with Call Me Kenneth and the Heavy Metal Kids. You know what? He's made a point. When I watched The Electric State and they got kicked out into the desert, I was thinking Judge Dredd with the cursed earth. I don't know if you did a little bit.
A little bit. I mean, I mean, also I Am I Robot. You know, this kind of just robot wars in general. I mean, it's just like I said. I think we're just all getting tapped out on these big special effects driven, you know, action scenes that just go on forever. I'd much rather just see dudes like shooting blanks at each other. You know.
Yeah, I know. Plus, I'm getting a bit fed up of some of the overlong gags as well. Like the scene where Chris Pratt was having a go at his robot for the fucking microwave being unplugged, and it just went on long. Just all right, you cut that down a little bit and still get enough information about these characters. You know, just move the plot along a little bit. So yeah, hell yeah, Drew, that would have been great. The Extra State. did have expensive CGI. Yeah, really expensive.
Where?
Steve Harris, Iron Maiden's bassist, is the de facto leader of the band. So, lick my love pump. What?
Lick more love pump. Hello? Is Luke trying to talk?
Here we go.
Oh.
Wait, I did
There
cut out.
you are. Yeah, you did.
Shit. No wonder it wasn't responding. I'll read another few more, then we'll end the stream. I think we've made our points a little bit as we go through the movie. We kind of do that anyway. It's like we go through the movie, we make our points about the scene, and there never seems to be much else to say. Maybe some final thoughts, and that's it. And it is hard to, and we could probably say favorite quote, but it's so fucking hard because there's so many. There is so many great quotes. There is. It's really hard to pick a favorite one. So, fuck the napkin. I rewatched Detroit Metal City last Christmas. I was surprised how well it still stands up post Baby Metal. Don't bother with the anime or manga, which I also have. The live action film is outstanding. I have to give it a try. I am. There's loads I need to give a try. The comic book and anime are more Japanese than the movie. Yeah, it's still great, but you have to take the anime and manga with a darker sense of humour. It's the scenery. Fuck the napkin. Very Jeffrey O'Toole, I'm a million. I might have missed that earlier from a scene. And yeah, we've got the oldest gamer here. Yeah, thanks for joining us. Fucking hell, always welcome, man. And I hope we can get you on one of the streams as a proper guest as well. Same thing for you, Atom. I know schedules are always a bit weird and that, but I'll try if I can get you on for a Saturday stream one day, one of my very rare ones. Same thing for you, Mystery. So the Stonehenge scene shows how out of touch they are with the evolving metal scenes. It's a pre-punk British hippie rock folk Hawkwind aesthetic, super silly by 1984 in heavy metal music stands. I kind of get that as well. It does feel very sort of like 1970s sort of Genesis, back when Peter Gabriel was the lead singer in the band in a way. Yeah, which is why in my headcanon the film takes place a couple of years before it was released.
Particularly in this time in the 80s, being that I was there, that the sort of the satanic panic, the devil cultish thing was really taking edge.
Yeah,
as opposed to Stonehenge.
Yeah, and I think one of them made a statement saying, even if it was made in 1981, 1980, they still would have worked as well. Because it's still. Ripper Man came out in 1984. Okay, Hair Traffic Control. Was Sid and Nancy the punk rock Spinal Tap? I don't know. Maybe a bit darker. I don't know because
no,
they're fucking dark, didn't they? Them so they were into fucking heroin and self harm and everything and fucking violence. Yeah, it was really crazy. Those two.
Nancy are real.
Yeah. Yeah, I need to watch Sid and Nancy. I've not seen that yet, but I like Gary Oldman as well. He's one of my favourite actors. So yeah, I never saw this. Yeah, Kick Push. Never showed up on TV. Kiss's album, The Elder, just well about just over half of it at least. Yeah, they're having a conversation here, aren't they? On that bloody stream, talking about something else. So yeah, nah, I'm joking. Kiss were on the second album without makeup in 1984, as I say. I think the film would be better in universe if it was set in 1982 or earlier. Maybe, I don't know, but I think you could still set this in any time period and it would still be very relevant because some of the stuff that happens on here is still happening to rock bands today. I mean, fucking hell, it happened to you. I mean, maybe only 10 years ago, I'm guessing, Enzo. Hello?
Did we lose him?
Have we lost Enzo? Shit, man.
I don't know. It seems that way. Well,
honestly, I don't see. Anyway, we'll give it another couple of minutes if we can get him back. What?
I was about to say. Anyway, I don't see this as so much as a play on Kiss as it is Led Zeppelin. I honestly see the two characters.
Sorry, I was feeding the cat.
Right. Yeah, Spinal Tap's music just reminds me of that Cheech and Chong song from the climactic concert scene Up in Smoke. Yeah. Da 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 da. Daddy took me off the baseball team because I wear pantyhose and dress like a queen. I'm going to have to watch that film again. It's been a fucking while, but that was a funny movie. When Cheap Trick, one of the first bands to be big in Japan, their live at the Budokan LP was a big thing in... Oh yeah, they did well in Japan. It'll be interesting to see how the new movie addresses the change to the world and the music scene since 1984. Will they be smoking weed? Yeah, I mean, I think the second one really is going to probably address the fact that these guys are in their 80s now, because this is what, just past 40 years since this came out.
Right.
So yeah, they could take on, probably do a little maybe spoof on guys like the Rolling Stones, who are still doing it even though they're fucking in their 80s now.
Aerosmith, everybody. You can't get that generation off the stage.
Yeah, I know those guys are still fucking going, so they must be taking a lot of bloody cocaine to keep themselves active. Check out a band called Death. Very good. I'm losing my voice now. Yeah, for how much money they waste on Electric State could have been spent on a Dread film. Yeah, they could have spent fucking on 10 Dread films, man. They could have. Oh, yeah, they could have made 8 Dread films. Yeah, you've already said it for me. Sorry, man. It explored Stonehenge. We'll get through them another few more and probably end anyway. So, yeah. Another drummer, rest in peace. Status quo. And I think that's it. And we'll give our final thoughts now. So, yeah, final thoughts on Spinal Tap. Yeah, it's clever. It's funny. It's awkward, but it's very charming. And, yeah, it turns it up to 11 when it needs to. In fact, it always turns it up to 11. So, yeah, that's my final thoughts. And then final thoughts on This is Spinal Tap.
It rocks.
Yeah. Couldn't say it better myself. Mystery.
When I first saw this, it's cultural, influential, and I'd say it's a timeless classic.
I fucking agree. And yeah, thanks for joining us, Bosch. Thanks for Atom Gray. Let me scroll back up because there was a new one, and I'm fucking bad with names sometimes. Drew Gordon as well, always welcome. Oldest Gamer, always welcome. You all, always welcome, you beautiful bastards. Seeing the same guys, Digital Pollution. Thanks once again, man. Wear Me Spoons. Thanks for joining us. President Trump Daddy, thank you, man. Daft Plato. Where are you? Tomby and Habel 99. Yeah, I'm guessing that's an L then. Or is it a 1? No, it's a Hab. It's an L. Habel 99. Thanks for joining us, man. And even though the guests were here a little bit more last minute, short notice, I will put their names up in the description later. And if you get a chance, do subscribe to them if you haven't already, of course. So yeah, and who else? Nick's always welcome. Always welcome to bust our chops, you know, bust our balls, as they say. And then for a good win, I thought he was going to pop on, man. I was there, but never mind. Anyway, so yeah, thanks for joining us, everybody. You've all been brilliant. And whether you beautiful bastards are Northern English or not, thanks for watching. And do remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, and to ring that bell in order to be notified. And if you wish to further support the channel, the links will be in the description below. But right now, that's us done.
Can I have spuds, please?
Spuds! Good choice. George's song. Listen very carefully. The question comes straight after.
Baked potato changed my life. Baked potato showed me the way. If you want to know what is wrong from right, you must listen to what potatoes say.
Don't be good, don't be bad.
Baked potato.
Don't be happy, don't be sad.
Thank you, baked potato. And if you want to have a better day, you must listen to what the baked potatoes say.
Don't be early, don't be late.
Thank you, baked potato.
Always eat what's on your plate.
Thank you, baked potato. And if you want to have a better day, you must listen to what the baked potato